that this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. we have our annual fall festival. There will be cider pressing, lots of community partners there doing lots of fun fall stuff. And then on Thursday, the 23rd, we have a new exhibition opening by Jessica Lagunas as Canaries in a Coal Mine. And then on Friday, November 7th, we have our fundraiser, but also a good fun program called Brewing Up History. And we're going to be exploring the history of how beer and cider are made. So we hope you all can join us.
Thank you so much, Melissa. Any questions for the Dykeman Farmhouse?
Yes, can they please send me their information, their
Okay, yes.
really fast, so I only
Okay,
got.
yeah, no, I got it. As a kind reminder, we are please asking our partners, our community partners, to please send the blurb to Alexis Marnell because it does help with minutes and it lessens the volume of tracking minutes and all of that. That'll be greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Sure.
I'm going to Kaya Samurkas, Friends of Inwood Hill Park. 2 minutes.
Hi, can everyone hear me all right?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you. Sorry about that. We've had a very busy October. It's been really great. We had an event for City of Forest Day in partnership for the Forest for All New York City, where we planted trees. We had a wonderful performance from the Forager Theater Company doing songs about fire ecology and a selection of Broadway hits. It was great. We also had an event recently with the Lenape poet, Rebecca Hoff Lowry. In spite of the nor'easter that came through, it was really wonderful. Thank you to everyone who came out. And we are still getting the flyer together, but I'm very excited to say that we are going to be doing 2 events with the organization Latino Outdoors with their New York and Northeast chapter. So we're doing one on November 1st for Day of the Dead, for Dia de los Muertos. We're going to be having beverages from Booney. There's going to be pan de muerto, I think. So we're really excited.
Muerto,
and then
yeah.
yeah, it's gonna be good. So you gotta come. And we're also going to be doing a bilingual plant and tree identification walk on November 8th. So it's gonna be a great time. My bad Spanish won't be there, so don't worry. Or, we'll be there for the English portion of it.
We appreciate the effort.
And is a little tentative, but I will share early that we are going to be doing a climate preparedness event in partnership with the Natural Area Conservancy, and it's going to be raising climate awareness to people in Inwood. And of course, we had some storm flooding. We've obviously had we're coming up on the 1 year of our wildfires that happened. So we're really excited to keep sort of moving that forward and engaging the community in new and exciting ways. I don't have flyers for those events yet. Hopefully I can share them at the next one, but I will drop the info and the dates and the times for those events for Alexis. Thank you so much.
Don't put it in chat because I don't see it.
I won't put them in the chat. I will email them to you directly.
Yeah.
Never email me.
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
calling you out on this one. Never email me, Malaka. Come on.
Oh, no, not
Okay,
agree.
okay, let's keep, that's time.
Thank
That's
you.
time.
Ella.
Okay.
Feliz toma.
All right. So thank you for that, Kaya. Alexis will appreciate if you send her the blurb. Julie McCoy, Inwood Canoe Club.
Hello, everyone. So, Julie McCoy, the Commodore of the Inwood Canoe Club. As I mentioned last time, we've reached the end of our casual paddling season. However, we did have one shoreline cleanup. You can find these on the club calendar page of our website, which is inwoodcanoenyc.org. And I'm happy to say that on October 5th, we actually had 14 volunteers show up and picked up 9 bags of trash, a bag of recyclables, and a bunch of broken glass, which, we're always happy to get that off of the shoreline. Our next scheduled one is 11/2, so we realize that that's actually the same day as the New York City Marathon, but that is what we are hoping to see some more turnout. After that, we're going to see what makes the most sense to have shoreline cleanups over the winter. And as ever, we will be planning our summer paddling season. We're also working with parks to prepare for the contingency of not having access to our boathouse when a capital project comes through. We're all waiting on bated breath, but we're happy to say we have a good relationship and we're working on it together. So that's my report.
Thank you
question.
so very much. Question,
Yeah.
Alexis?
Drew, you said on October 5th, you said you did a shoreline cleanup. What was the stats on that?
Well, we had 14 volunteers.
Volunteers.
We grabbed 9 bags of trash, 1 large bag of recyclables, a medium cardboard box of glass recyclables, also I didn't mention this, a broken city bike and some carpet nailed to some boards. So I'm not sure if those 2 things went together, but that's what was found and recovered. So,
Thank you.
and I'll put that in my report that I emailed to you.
Thank you, dear. I appreciate that.
Thank you so very much. Catherine Hughes, Morris Jumel Mansion. You're mute.
I am now
There you go.
unmuted. Thank you, Luana, and hello to everybody. We have a few things happening at Morris Jumel Mansion. Number 1 is we have paranormal investigations that still have tickets available. So you can check out those dates that we are offering. It's Fridays and Saturdays in general. So you can check that on our website. And I will give you all of this, Alexis, in an email.
Thank you, dear.
And on October 15th, our virtual parlor chat is going to be part of the spooky season. It is on the paranormal and American art. So we have Bob Casalini, who is an expert in this field. He is going to share some of his expertise with everyone. So sign up for that. It's free and virtual. And then finally, we have Viva La Vida opening on Saturday, October 25th. This is a partnership that we are doing with the Sugar Hill Museum and NOMA to present an ofrenda, a participatory ofrenda. And this is the reception with Andrea Arroyo and Marjorie Elliott. So that's 3 to 5, and that's free at the Sugar Hill Museum on Saturday, October 25th. I will say also, with my few seconds left, that we are going to be able to give more information about the restoration very soon. We met today with the contractor. They are real. It was very exciting. And we are going to have some scaffolding go up in the front of the mansion next week. So you will begin to see signs of the restoration, and I can give more details about that next month.
Just in time, Catherine. Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much. Moving along, Joy, would you like to give your update?
Yeah, I'm Joy Hecht from Harlem River Community Rowing. Not a whole lot to say. We've just been continuing our ongoing rowing practices. As the weather gets worse, we did miss a lot of practices this weekend. We have a number of people who've been going to races. They've been winning, which makes them very excited. Sometimes I think it says something about the competition, but you know, hey, whatever, it's still fun. We've launched a fundraiser to try and bring in enough funds to buy a second coaches launch, a motorboat, which will, if we can raise the money for next year, enable us to have a lot more practices at St.
What kind of boat, dear?
Get lots more people out of the water.
What kind of boat?
A motorboat, we call it a coaches launch because it's why it's called a launch, I don't know, but it's what the coaches ride in, and everybody has to go out with the coach, so. Two motorboats means 2 coaches at once, which means 2 different practices happening at once.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And we're also looking into buying a 4-person boat, another 4-person boat, which will also sort of expand our flexibility a lot if we can find one that's affordable and in tolerable condition. They kind of pop up and then they're already sold, or they pop up and they just really look terrible. So that's about what's happening. We'll be rowing until mid-November. And then we'll be wrapping up that season.
Any questions for Joy? Thank you so much. Perfect. With 30 seconds left. My goodness. Stephanie Cavan.
Hi, everyone. My name's Stephanie Kavan. I'm the North Park Outreach Coordinator for Riverside Park, which goes from 120th to 181st Street, the southern portion of Fort Washington. And I just have a few updates. We had the Little Red Lighthouse Festival on October 4th.
Yes.
Which is an annual festival to celebrate the lighthouse. And it was a beautiful event. Thank you to Dykeman Farmhouse for being there. Y'all were awesome. And it was such a great event. I feel like the last 2 years we had a lot of rain, so this was a really great sunny day. But just to let you all know, we remulched Discovery and replanted Discovery Playground. So if you're in the area, feel free to check out that new mulch and those new plantings. We have a right next to Discovery Playground, or right behind it rather. We are working with Latino Outdoors as well. I'm a volunteer with Latino Outdoors, so yay for Friends of Inwood Hill Park for working with LO. I'm a volunteer with them, and we are coming to do some gardening on November 12th, which is a Wednesday, from 9 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Right near Discovery Playground. And then lastly, I know that there's a lot of green spaces and parks on here. I've been getting this summer I got like cooling kits from the Neighborhood Coalition for Shelter. I do outreach, and so I also outreach to those who live in the park. So they helped me give out socks, fans, electrolyte packets, snacks to our most vulnerable this summer. I'm also going to talk to them about warming kits, which will include hand warmers. So if anybody's looking for warming kits or any like resources like that, for anyone in parks, the Neighborhood Coalition for Shelter was a great resource for me. So just wanted to share that. That's it. That's all I got.
Thank you so much. I think you might have a question, Stephanie.
Yeah, Stephanie, what day is the Latino Outdoors Volunteer Day?
Wednesday, November 14th. We've been working with LO since April for the second Wednesday of every month to do some gardening. So this will be the
What
last
time,
one.
dear?
I'm sorry?
What time?
What time?
9 a.m. to 11:30. So Wednesday, November 12th, 9 a.m. to 11:30 in the morning.
And have you reached out to On Point NYC?
Yes, we get our Narcan training from them every year.
Good.
Yeah, they're
Thank
also a great organization. Yeah.
Thank you, Stephanie. Alexis, do you want to say your email again so that people
Yes.
can email you their blurbs?
A.Marnell. So that's A.M like Mary, A, R like Robert, N like Nancy, E, L like Larry, CB12 at gmail.com.
Okay, A.Marnell.
Yes.
Okay, CB2, thank you. I hope everybody got that. All right, I will put it also in the chat. Okay.
A.Marnell, CB12 at gmail.
Yeah, we all do that. We have so many different emails. So I have two attendees that Carlos Acosta, are you with an organization? Remind me, I'm so sorry.
Carlos is our program development.
Oh, programs, that's right. Okay, let me promote him to panelist. And then Leslie Henry, are you with an organization? You can just indicate in the Q&A. Just want to make sure that I don't miss any of our community partners and their programming. Okay.
You want me to read Noma's thing that Marty?
Oh yeah, please, Noma. Alexis, please read what Noma has sent.
You want me to do that first? Okay.
Yeah.
So,
You got 2 minutes.
So Marty Collins sent this. This is the information from Northern Manhattan Arts Alliance. There's an exhibit, Sustenance and Survival Exhibition with 37 Northern Manhattan artists. Opens Thursday, October 16th from 6 to 8 at Noma Gallery, 4140 Broadway and Westland 76. Gallery hours 6 to 8 Tuesdays and 1 to 5 Saturdays through January 6th. Noma Labs continues with watercolors by artist Francis, I'm so sorry, H-S-U-E-H. I'm gonna spell the name. I have no idea. I'm so sorry. I don't know how to say that name. Looks like H2 at 6 p.m. Thursday, October 23rd at Noma Gallery on 176 on Broadway. And you can RSVP for those events at www.nomaanyc.org.
Thank you. Justin, have any questions for Noma? Well, Marty's not here.
Marty's-
He can't- He's not here, and most certainly, Alexis cannot answer this
No.
question, so we're gonna move it along. Okay, I'm gonna raise, we don't have any resolutions, but we do have quorum. Before we get into Parks, report, I would like to raise a point of, I don't know if it's personal privilege, that's not it, but so that we can agree on a date for the next meeting, because the office will be closed on Veterans Day. So therefore, we cannot have our meeting on November 11th. However, it seems that the best date is that Thursday, the 13th, because there's only one meeting going on.
Yeah.
I can do the 13th.
Yeah? And that was an oversight on our part, because when we were arranging calendars, that should have popped out, but unfortunately it didn't.
Respectfully, I can't, but I will reach out to the office about whether or not. I mean. These dates, we hold in abeyance in the future with the expectation that this is it. So I
Right.
will reach out to the office about whether or not that absence can be excused because it's not on the.
Yeah,
core
absolutely.
date.
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah, regarding that, as it relates to the bylaws, if
Yes.
we move a meeting because of a holiday or something of that nature, it's not on a regular day, basically, then it doesn't count against our attendance.
That's fair.
Okay.
That's great. Thank you for that clarification with the bylaws.
And I will send an email so it's
Of
properly.
course, of course. Yes, of course. So do I have a motion to move the meeting to Thursday, the 13th?
Yeah.
In observation of Veterans Day, because also the office will not be open, so we cannot have the meeting on this day. Second?
Second.
Second, okay. Diogenes makes a motion, Daryl seconds it. So in matters of public record, the next Community Board 12 PCA meeting, the November meeting, will be held on Thursday, the 13th at 6:30.
Just as a technicality, we didn't actually vote on it, but I think we're all.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
All in favor. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
It just went like, without objection. No. Thank you for that. I am so sorry. I just nobody protested motion. You know what? This is only the second, it's the third meeting. So yeah, I should have my stuff together. My apologies and thank you, Tracy. Yes,
Second meeting.
okay.
All in favor?
It is the second meeting. All in favor, please.
Fine.
Okay, any abstentions? Okay, unanimously passed. All right, thank you for that. Tracy always keeps me grounded, but thank you. So now with that, I will yield to Parks.
All right, so I'll start just with the capital projects update and then can answer any questions on that. And then
Carlos.
our project development coordinator, Carlos Acosta, who can report on all the upcoming events and volunteer opportunities.
Okay.
Can answer any
Or we can flip if you want, but you started
questions.
already.
I'd rather go.
It doesn't matter. Well, to keep the flow, thank you for that. Let's go to Carlos first.
That's great, okay.
All right.
Sounds good. I can go. And I'm a little bit more prepared for the little bit of time that we have. So the first event that I want to mention is going to happen at Roger Morris Park tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. It's a volunteer opportunity for anyone who's interested in doing some gardening. Our gardeners will be, offering some tips and guiding some beautification of the space. Following that, on Thursday, there is a listening session, as well as a community study that's being done on the Greenway, the Fort Washington Greenway and retaining wall. And essentially that starts at 6 p.m. It'll be at the Y on Nagel. And people will be able to offer their feedback on the current study that's happening on that area.
Yes.
Following
This is the retaining Thursday the 17th. Sorry
Correct.
about that, Carlos.
And following that, there is a fall migration birding tour that's going to happen in Fort Tryon Park. It's going to be meeting at Dungan Lawn at 10 a.m. on the 18th. And essentially they'll be doing a little guided tour of some of the migratory birds that pass through Fort Tryon Park. And that'll start at 10 a.m. at Dungan Lawn. Let's see what else. What else do we have? Because we have a lot of events happening this month as well. There is another event on the 18th that is titled Unknown New York Sketch and Book Event with Jesse Richards. There'll be the Fort Tryon Park Conservancy is offering this event for a special sketching and book signing event inspired by Unknown New York that features Fort Tryon Park and other open, green spaces throughout New York. And they'll be, guiding the sketching session for everyone there. And that'll be meeting at the Margaret Corbin Circle entrance to Fort Tryon Park at 1 p.m.
And that is your time, Carlos. I would like to make a correction that the study for the retaining wall is on Thursday, the 16th, correct?
Yes, correct.
Thank you. All right. Now you're up, Chris. Thank you, Carlos.
All right, so just a quick capital project update. I wanted to start too quickly just by saying thank you all to the community, to the Parks Committee, the Community Board, because 5 years ago, 4 years ago, in some cases more than 4 or 5 years ago, this committee set out their priorities for the upcoming capital projects, and many of those have happened, and many of those are still happening, and many of those are about to happen. So some of these are in there. So what you guys are doing tonight, it takes a while, but we do see these things come to fruition after some time. And advocacy, and so thank you all. The Dyckman Fields soccer field. So this opened back in July. I know Jana probably reported on this last month. The project is not 100% complete in that we have grass, like natural sod, on the north side of the artificial turf, and on the south side of the artificial turf that was originally laid in July. It did not do well over the summer. It was relaid, and we have now temporarily closed these two lawn areas off while the sod establishes itself this fall, and we're gonna try to keep it closed throughout the winter. So soccer players, they kick the ball over the fence, and there's ways for them to get in just to retrieve their balls. But in the meantime, it's fenced off, being watered every couple days, and we're just letting it get established. It was really difficult to do that this summer with the weather, and so we ask for everybody's patience with that. But the soccer field itself is open and will continue to be open and is super popular, and we've had no issues with that at all. Monsignor Kett restrooms are officially complete and open this past weekend. So the work was mostly done a few months ago. We got a temporary certificate of occupancy from the Department of Buildings just last week. We completed inspections and opened it up. So please go check them out or avail yourself of facilities when you're up at Monsignor Kett. Also mostly complete, Billings Lawn in Fort Tryon Park. So this was funded by a very generous $50,000 grant by Con Ed to the Fort Tryon Park Conservancy. We had major erosion issues on the lawn. We installed new drainage. The lawn was regraded and restored. There's still a broken drain line on the north side of it that needs to be completed. And we're going to keep this lawn again closed through the winter in order for the new grass to really establish itself. So you don't want to jump the gun on opening it up and then everything gets trampled before it can really, establish itself well. Quisqueya restrooms, our other big restroom project. It is unfortunately about 1 year overdue from being complete. However, the good news is the contractor is moving again. They are problem solving with our resident engineers, and every week we make a little bit of progress. It's about 96% complete. So we anticipate that it will be done sometime this fall. And fingers crossed that it keeps going well. So Hudson River Greenway, Carlos mentioned the capital project scoping development, the CPSD study. So we have the input session. That study continues through March of 2026. So there's still, you know, some opportunities, but tomorrow night is like the in-person opportunity. We did one online. There's been some surveys, some interviews, and so forth. And then they'll be wrapping up their recommendations by March. And that study sets forth a recommendation. It's not like a plan that, you know, we have a design and we're ready to fund any improvements to the Greenway. It's kind of setting forth recommendations for next steps. So it's just a piece of the puzzle. But the good news is that all the repairs that we completed with with DOT and DEP over the spring and summer, all those sinkhole repairs are holding well. We've had major rainstorms since then, and everything is kind of holding tight right now. So we're, you know, that's a positive sign. So moving on quickly, inward ball fields, number 1, 2, and 4, reconstruction and lights for field 1. We're a little more than halfway done, about 56% done in time, and it's on schedule, on budget. All the fencing and the ramp, the new ADA ramp, that's all done. If you guys are over there, please check out the bleachers, have been 100% restored. They just got like a nice kind of light tan coat of paint on them, and they look, I mean, I think they probably look better than they have in the 90 years since that was built. So we still have a lot of regrading and new grass to be done over the fall and into the winter. That is slated to be done in March of 2026. Lily Brown, also about 56% complete. We've had some delays with the work there. We are redoing all of the utility lines. So every possible utility, sewer line, water supply line, Con Ed line, you name it, is being redone. It's because of the challenges of that site with the grade. So we are taking this opportunity while the playground is fully torn up to just reconstruct all the utilities into that site. That was not anticipated necessarily. We had some of that to deal with. Once they opened it up, they said, you know, we may as well go in. So a little more money and a little bit more time, but in the end, it'll be worth it because the project will just be more resilient by the end. That is also slated for a March 26 completion. We have 3 retaining wall projects happening right now. 2 up in Isham Park and Inwood Park. Those are they're moving along, you know, little hiccups here and there because they're both on very steep slopes. So these are kind of hidden projects unless you really know those parks, but they're up there, they're happening. They were very necessary and it's good they're happening. They're both slated to be complete by the end of the year. We have just a few blocks to the west of here. We have Riverside and 161st Street. That retaining wall project is the wall is redone. This is where the car crashed into the retaining wall on 161st Street. So the wall is redone, and we're waiting just for the capstones to be procured. It's like the top last piece. So that should be done by the end of this year as well. Almost done here. We have, as many of you know, the Peter J. Sharp Boathouse has been slated for removal and sadly demolition by Row New York, and that's permitted and that will likely happen sometime this month. Demolition may not happen on site, but it may just be towed. I think it's going out to Red Hook, and then they'll complete demolition where they just have better facilities. So that's the plan. So by the end of this month, the Peter J. Sharp Boathouse will be gone. Weather permitting, of course. McKenna Square renovation. This is something that's been in the books, you know, in planning process. DOT has requested that it's an opportunity for them to do some pedestrian improvements, both on the Amsterdam side and on the St. Nick side.
Saint Nick, I believe,
On
yeah.
the west side.
Audubon-ish, yeah.
Yeah, right here. So they have requested that we kind of do an additional look, work with them on some pedestrian improvements. So that's delaying the public input process, probably spring 26 is when that public input process will begin. So that's, I think, good news.
I think it is, yeah.
And then lastly, we have the Inwood Ball Field 6, it's out on the peninsula by the Nature Center. That's just a lighting project. That is in design right now, so it's nothing that really much to report except for, it's moving forward. And that's all I have. But
Oh,
any questions?
Fantastic. Okay, so we have questions.
Oh,
Yes.
sorry, I have another retaining wall project. How did I skip that? A fourth retaining wall project. Sorry, this is over at J Hood Wright. So this is at the dead end, there's the ADA ramp coming down into the park by the soccer mini pitch. So that ramp and the retaining wall by the handball courts is slated to begin construction by the end of October. And one more project that I forgot, which is the 186th Street basketball court, which is under construction. Everything is going well,
Good.
and I promise that's it.
Okay, so we have a couple of questions before I give the floor to the board, the committee. I just want for a matter of public record for you to share insight with the communications between parks and the Hudson Sailing Club, because there is, I was asked to openly ask the question about the fear of the docks being closed, the programs being closed, and what can be done. And hopefully Alexis also can shed light on funding opportunities. See, I took some of your time. And then I'll go Diogenes, Daryl, Danny, but before that, that's my question.
Okay, sure. So, in terms of the communication between Parks and Hudson River Community Sail,
Right.
Parks notified HRTS in November of 2022
Mhm.
that the docks would close fully for reconstruction in 2026.
Mhm.
That they would essentially need to relocate their on-water activities by
Mhm.
that time. However, their upland activities, the construction process has been essentially set up so that any kind of on-land upland activities like in the boathouse and so on and so forth can continue throughout construction. This is true of the activities at New Club as well, not the on-water component, but
Okay.
the upland activities essentially. Parks has offered, I think, worked over the last couple of years with Hudson River Community Sail
Mhm.
to provide or make available something like a half a dozen different alternative sites. I don't know the details of that, but my understanding is that none of those sites were suitable. And there was a request at a certain point that the project be phased in order by HRCS in order to allow for the on-water piece. And my understanding is that would have added something like 2 years to the design, to the design and procurement and construction timeline, and however many more millions of dollars that had not been allocated, to account for that additional timeline. So that's my understanding of the project. If
Okay.
there are more specific questions, I tried it.
Well, Robert is not here to continue, but that's the main, just an update for a matter of public record, possible collaboration, possibilities. So for my own understanding, are the docks to be shut down all at once or in phases? For my own understanding.
I believe all at once. Yeah, I mean, it's sort of one dock right now. So that dock will be removed. I mean, most of the dock comes out in the winter time anyway. They take all the floating docks out of the water prior to the winter. So that, I imagine, starts to happen in the next month or so. Come up, and so there's some in-water removals that I believe have to happen in order to accommodate the new Eco Dock, which is further out in deeper water and can accommodate larger boats, and will have a fishing pier integrated into it. And the fishing pier that is on the other side of the Hudson Restaurant, that will be demolished. And so it will essentially everything that's going to be closed will be closed more or less at the same time.
Before, do you have questions with pertaining to the sailing club? No, Alexis, do you want to say your publicly about
Right, I'm
possibilities that you can reach out, that we will reach out?
Hudson River
to-
Community Sailing, I have offered this to them, they have, but if they want to take me up on it, they can reach out to me and I will provide them with. But they have reached out, I've given this information before, so, but again, if they want to reach out again, they can, I can give them a month, a free month of a grant database for them to research funding that can maybe keep them afloat during this closure.
Right. Okay, then. With that, we'll go around. Diogenes, you have a question for Parks?
Yes, I know you said it was the design phase, but when you were mentioning lights, you were talking specifically for the ball field for
Field 6.
Yes.
Yes,
Oh,
from Field
nice.
6.
Okay,
It's,
okay.
that's the only real component of it because of the field. The
Yeah.
Field itself, fencing, all that is in great shape.
Okay,
So this is just, the lighting will be outboard of the fences,
okay,
what I understand.
got it.
And so they're drawing power from the utilities essentially that are running through the nature center.
Okay.
So there's a lot of coordination with the nature center and make sure that, the can handle the current loads and all of that, so.
But it's something that's going to happen?
It's active, it's in active design, like we have a call scheduled for it next week,
Nice.
so,
Cool.
yeah, it's ongoing, it's
Thank you.
happening.
Thank you. Daryl, you have a question? I know what you're gonna ask, Daryl.
No.
No, okay. Go ahead,
Let someone else ask.
Yeah.
No, you said something about, there's repairs, from a car crash? Or
Yes, 161st Street and is it Upper Riverside East?
Upper, yeah,
Upper
it's
Riverside.
actually formerly Upper
Formerly
Riverside Drive East.
East.
It was a,
So, which is just south of the hospital.
Sure.
So
Oh, yeah,
the
yeah.
car had gone through the stop sign or something to that effect.
yeah, it drove down the hill on
Drove down the hill.
161st very, very fast and
Jumped the curb.
had some problems making the turn and just barreled straight into the stone wall and completely obliterated the stone wall and the foundation underneath.
Wow.
It was a huge project.
It's a big project, right? So they had to re-pour the concrete base of the wall and as you know, there's steep slope right there,
Yeah.
so. And that's
So this
actually, it's similar in scope to the other retaining wall projects in that the challenge of these projects is that in order to build to current standards, which is much higher than it was, say, 90 years ago when a lot of these, not that they weren't well built, they were, but now engineering standards are such that a lot of the base of the retaining wall now need to be concrete going down much deeper,
Right.
so as to kind of add to the longevity and resilience of the projects, and so that's part of the challenge.
So
With that
because it's a
particular one-
retaining wall.
Yep.
It's getting a proper fix, not like the car crash that happened at, for Tryon Park, where they just put like kind of bollards or something. in
That's
front of
not
it.
a fix, that's just a screen, that's just a temporary screen, so.
By temporary,
Yeah.
that accident was,
I
A long
yeah.
time ago.
So the challenge with retaining walls too is that oftentimes the scope of the project is the scale of the project is such that they tend to get tied into larger retaining wall
sure.
contracts.
Mhm.
So like Inwood and Isham, for example, it's a contract that has is a couple different boroughs and has maybe a dozen projects. So it's much more economical to do it that way. So the Fort Tryon, speaking of retaining walls, thank you for bringing that up, because there are two other retaining walls in Fort Tryon that also are slated to be reconstructed. And these are where essentially like 80, 90, 100-year-old oak trees have fallen in the park,
Mhm.
one by Dongan Lawn, one just below the cloisters, and have taken out portions of retaining walls below them.
Right.
And so one by Dongan, one up by the cloisters, and the third at the end of the cloisters by Cloisters Lawn. Those three are also in design right now and construction should start on those in 2026. So missing from my list, but
So that like patch job will eventually,
Correct, yeah,
only
those are
ground
just
we gave
planters that we put there to
Right.
make it look okay
yeah,
and a little bit
and so no one
safer.
falls down.
He had already was
Correct.
He already
Yeah.
said
So
what
no,
was going
but
on.
so that will get a proper full, and it's a historic park, so it's landmarked, so it has to go through a couple layers of additional design review.
And just out of curiosity, do we ever ask the drivers, does the city sue the drivers for any of this funding?
That's a good question. I think so from my experience on a smaller scale with like turf damage. In one case, a bus that made a U-turn tried to make a U-turn on a lawn in Fort Tryon Park. I mean, and this is our, essentially a sister agency. We are, yes, they are paying us to restore that lawn. So if the driver is identified and the insurance can be flagged for it, yes, the details of this specific retaining wall, I don't know the details of.
Yeah.
If they were,
Right. I want-
Drivers survived, yeah, I think so. I don't think they.
Oh, the crash, you mean
Yeah.
the crash at
161,
161?
the driver survived.
Yes.
But the Fort Tryon,
Oh,
I think the driver survived also.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to give Danny a chance also to ask his question, and then I'm gonna go to the panelists, to the other panelists.
This is quick, now I have one extra question to ask, but, the building's on?
Yeah.
I passed by through it today,
Yeah,
beautiful.
yeah, it looks like $1 million.
I love that there's like,
50 million.
there's
I
like
mean,
no,
yeah.
shrubs, looking through the
That's
building.
sort of a separate piece, yeah.
Yeah, I hope y'all keep it like that.
Yeah,
Don't plant no shrubs.
yeah, it got kind of overgrown.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
cool, it's cool, I like that. I don't know if you mentioned it, but, there's like construction happening in Inwood Hill Park.
Yes,
Like
that's the
the path,
retaining wall
right?
construction up in the woods.
Yeah, so that's like happening, that stuff, right?
Mhm.
Cool.
And that wall had fallen 5 years ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what was the other two things? Amelia Gorman, is there anything about that?
Well, we have funding from the council member in this year's capital budget, so
Okay.
that's very good news.
And hopefully they don't keep on raising the prices up. Cause like, that's like the
Yeah.
one thing that you guys like
I know,
kept on like,
yeah,
okay.
but it's, so that project it hasn't been assigned to anybody yet, but
Okay.
that will move forward.
And then the last thing, I'm pretty sure, I know I missed it at some point, but when is that, not the info session, the taking in of the comments for the green path, when are those, days again?
So, I mean, tomorrow is the in-person input session.
So
There
what time
was
to what
a-
time and where?
Carlos, if Carlos is still on, I think he has the info right in front of him. It's at the Y.
Okay,
It's down the block, well, a couple blocks. And I think it's at 6 or 6:30 PM. I know,
Carlos, are you there that you can answer that
you're
question?
there, but if not, I will.
is there somewhere I can find?
Give me a
it?
sec. Let me pull it up. Just give me a
Thank you,
sec.
Carlos.
Not to be dense, you're talking about the greenway on the side of the highway, is that what you're
Yeah,
talking about?
the Empire Trail path, Greenway, yeah,
Mhm.
that,
On the
Yeah.
west side,
yeah, the west side.
It starts at 6 and it'll be at the Y on Nagel, so 54 Nagel Avenue. And that's when they'll have the input session there.
Cause I think that's like
Thank
the official name, the Empire Trail, or it's part of the Empire
It's
Trail.
one of the official names. It's
Yeah.
the Hudson River Greenway,
That's
it's
how
the
I know it.
Empire State Trail, and it is also Fort Washington Park. So
True,
it
true.
is all three of those things at the
Cool.
same time.
And then
Okay.
are they having a Zoom session too or no?
There
Just,
was a Zoom session about more than a month ago.
Yeah,
Back in
this is the live session and there was a virtual session, yeah.
August.
I think it was in August, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
also-
all right, I have Kaya Samurkas with a question. Thank you for being patient, Kaya.
No problem. Just a question about the infield ball fields. Is that turf? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. If Chris answers it one more time.
Please. Good one.
I had to do it.
had to do
I had
it,
a
right?
question about two kind of, I wish, two like, I wish we would make them capital projects. The Payson Park House in Woodhill Park. And then also someone mentioned the Cabrini Woods might be a capital project. Chris, do you have anything on those or not yet?
So Cabrini Woods, we are trying to reestablish that trail that runs from a little south of 190th Street up to almost Billings Arcade. That is something that the Fort Tryon Park Conservancy is working on, and we've had some volunteer projects in there, some invasive removals. It's not the scale of a capital project, so that's something that we're raising small scale private funding and just leveraging as much in kind as we can for that. The second one, Payson Park House, maybe that'll be part of the conversation this evening. I know it has.
Guess who went to Payson Preschool?
Very well.
Guess who went to Payson Preschool?
But it's not currently, from what I understand, it's not currently funded. Building is stable, but the project is not currently funded. Or scoped even, really.
Yo, we need another Bette Midler in the neighborhood, yo.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, there's also a question with regards to the transfer of funds that were allocated by Sean Abreu, District 7 to the renovations project. I'm not
So this
clear
is for
yet.
Rocky's Run, Dog Run.
Rocky's Dog Run or?
I didn't,
Rocky's
yeah,
Run.
I believe so, yeah. So Leslie, so yeah, Leslie Henry is the resident who leads the community.
Yeah.
Who leads the community effort to secure funding for major renovations for Rocky Dogs Run on 165 in Riverside. And then she's inquiring about funds allocated by Sean Abreu.
So I don't know specifically if the funds were transferred to parks. If they were, then the next step would be for a designer to be assigned. And once the designer is assigned, then we would re-engage with the dog run group, the advocates, and the
Okay.
design process will start in earnest. And that doesn't have to be a 1-year-long design process. It could move faster than that typically with dog run.
Yeah, we've been working with, Leslie's a big advocate of the Rocky Run Dog Park and has been meeting with Parks, Sean Abreu. We do have the funding's been allocated. I just don't know whether it's
Great.
in your purse yet,
We'll bring the answer to November.
but we're excited. Yeah, we're excited. And Parks is
Fantastic.
working really closely with
Yeah.
them.
Thank you for that question, Leslie. I hope it was answered and you heard the answer. We don't have any more questions. So with that, let's see. Yep. We're going to start reviewing budgets, but capital expenses and budget expenses. I hope everybody has their sheet. And this is from last year. Also, if you want to revisit the allocations, there is a printout here. I hope everybody brought their ideas. Remember that before the summer, we had said to peruse the neighborhood, bring ideas. Everybody knows what my ideas are, but we can go, yes.
Is that a printout that we can see as well? So we know-
There's only one printout. In terms of what, the capital or the expense budgets?
I'll bring it to her.
Okay,
Yeah, I got you.
it's only two. It's this.
You look
No. All right. So as a reminder, this exercise is to. Here. What happened? What? No, I'm looking for it, but I had a pen. So this exercise for the new members is, as you already know or might know, city council allocates funding to projects pertaining or belonging to community boards. And as a community board, what we do is we gather our ideas and we see potential for funding opportunities that fall under the purview of parks and cultural affairs. In the past, for example, as you might remember, when we were discussing the Dolphin Park, I forget the name of the park, but the Dolphin Park article, unfortunately, that park falls under the purview of the Port Authority. So it is up to somebody to start a nonprofit that can manage that park. So that does not enter into this listing, unfortunately, because I was ready to pitch that, but it doesn't fall within the purview of parks because of the Port Authority. But as you can see, we see the allocations now. The one thing that I'm going to ask everybody, when you receive the Excel sheet, we do this, we have the discussions here as a matter of public record, but then the voting we do online via Excel, and then I do a formula. This voting has to be done on time by the deadline, because then Ebenezer prepares the entire sheet to be presented to the board. Some of you unfortunately voted during the board meeting and your vote did not count. So if you want your vote to count, you got to do these rankings before the deadline or by the deadline. Does that make sense?
When is the demo?
Before the next community board meeting.
Full board.
So full board meeting, yes. Oh, actually, no, it has to be before that because Ebenezer has to prepare this. So I will send the electronic copy.
And
of
just
it.
to be clear, our next general meeting is Tuesday, October 28th. So certainly you're talking about before that date?
No, is it? No. Do we
Yeah.
vote in October?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's set a deadline right now then. Because the community board meeting is, oh my God, I feel like time is flying. Tuesday at 6:30, and we need Ebenezer to do his rankings, to compilate the Excel sheet. Now, remember, we're only doing ranking for parks during this meeting, because then during the general meeting or on your own, you do all of the other committees. And this looks really good because a lot of our proposals were funded. We continue support. So, do we want to say that once we agree on what we keep, what goes by next, maybe Monday, is that reasonable? By next Monday, you will have your rankings? Monday, the 24th.
So you.
Oh, no, Monday, no, the 24th.
6.
I'm sorry, I'm looking at
Yeah.
November. My apologies.
Monday's date is the 20th.
Sorry.
Following.
I'm
Monday
looking,
is
somebody
the
handed me the November calendar. I need to see October calendar.
Oh,
Alexis, need,
Oh,
what,
how-
yeah,
October, it's right here.
let's see. Oh, okay.
Thanks a lot.
Oh, okay. Yes, it's on the 28th.
Mhm.
Okay, so is it realistic to have your rankings done by the 20th,
No,
Next Monday,
next Monday?
6 days.
I'll
6
try.
days.
I'll try. I'm speaking just out of personal, so, yeah, I got.
Okay, since our
So,
meeting,
Sorry, when you talk about the ranking, you're talking about which ranking? Because
Just
we're
for
doing
park.
it as, we're doing
Just
it
for
as a
park.
committee.
yes, just right now, what we're doing is ranking. We're going to propose new projects for ranking tonight. And then the ranking we'll do online. You'll get it via Google Docs and Excel sheet, and there's a formula that I eliminate. There's a formula for the rankings to come out automatically, once everybody puts their
So we're
rankings.
not doing the ranking.
No,
Can it be the 22nd?
the 21st. That's a happy medium. So
I mean,
not Monday, not Wednesday, but Tuesday.
Fair enough.
Okay.
I'm doing a painted sip on the 21st. Anyone wants to go?
Wait, it's on the, it's a 20.
It's on the 21st. It's from 6:30 to 8:30. So if anyone wants to go, talk to me. I'll send you a link.
You sent me like I might actually do that one.
I'll send it to you right now then.
No, you sent it to me already.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. But yeah, 21st sounds okay.
Okay,
I'm okay
thank
with
you. All right, so once we agree on projects, new projects, continued projects, I will put those in the existing Google Doc that you all got last year. And all you have to do is put in your number. Everybody gets their own tab. You put in the number that you think deserves, you put your ranking in.
Yeah.
So if we have 14 projects, the numbers will be 1 through 14. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And then the Excel, the formula, you'll see it changing. The formula will determine. It's pretty cool. Yes.
About the ranking, so they'll be due on the 21st. When are we receiving them?
If we discuss tonight, then I can do it within the next 24 to 48 hours.
Okay.
All right?
And you'll give me access to.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. So should we start with capital or expense? We should start with capital, right? right.
What's the longest one? Why not?
No.
It's the longest one.
Yeah, let's get it out of the way.
And the only thing I need, so when you look at the second page, if a number has been allocated, that means that the project was funded, right? Or is under consideration?
I think it's happening.
Yeah.
It's happening, but then if it's grayed out, then what are these, what is this gray spot?
That's all continuing
Yeah,
support.
continuing support.
That means that they were previously funded,
It's like on
ongoing.
the,
You can
the
see
process of it
what-
going.
They have, but they're asking for continued support. But, so, Chris. So for example, so the basketball court at West 186,
Yep.
that's completed, right?
No,
It's
Not-
fully funded.
It's fully funded.
Under construction.
That's what I'm, right.
All right,
it's like, I think the continuing support is already, it's like, it's got picked up by parts.
Yeah.
And
right.
it's like happening, but some projects, like, let's say, the Dykeman Waterfront Restoration and Eco Dock. That was something that we spoke about at a certain point, and it's like kind of like in this area where it's about to happen, but it hasn't happened yet.
Right.
But it's got
Yeah.
the funding.
Yeah.
So the question is, everything that is in gray should just be eliminated for next year.
Yeah.
Right? That way it won't cause confusion. So then for the Diogenes, is Diogenes the only new member of the committee?
No.
Well, I'm new to this committee.
So she knows, that's what I
Yeah,
mean.
yeah.
It's, I'm to the board, so that he understands the ranking. So Diogenes, just for your sake, right? You can see that this is how last year, how we voted. The first column is how the committee voted, and then you see how the board voted. So I always make a case that, sure, there are many other priorities in the community that require attention, but when you fund parks and culture and programming, that raises the quality of life of people. So you can have a beautiful, affordable housing apartment, that's great. But then if you are sort of like in the highway or in a very gray area or in a depreciated area, then you are confined to your home and you don't have green areas. So that's sort of like the advocacy that we do when we go before the board for projects in parks to be ranked highly. So that's how, is that clear? Okay. All right, so let's go, before we pitch our new projects, how do we feel about the existing projects? Is there anything that you feel particularly not practical anymore? Do you feel that everything, or there were some that just been going around in circles and never gets funding? Alexis and then Daryl.
So we talked about this last year too. We can take out this family picnic barbecue area stuff.
Uh-huh.
Because this was something we talked about. This is really what we were advocating for, like really during the pandemic.
Okay.
And so it really.
Did you say the item number?
I'm
Just so-
sure.
Oh, yeah, that's good, 28.
28.
Good idea. We're looking at item 28 on the capital budget,
Like I was saying.
bottom of the page.
So I don't, we don't really need that anymore. I mean, there's plenty, I can see that there's plenty. We asked for this like during the pandemic, and I just think it's the least of our worries at this point.
I guess the flip side to that, Alexis, would be, are there enough grilling areas in this area? I mean, do we have enough that merits for us to take this down?
I mean,
That would be the
listen,
flip side question.
the other thing is people bring their own anyway.
Yeah,
So
100%.
people bring their own anyway,
Yeah.
whether it's designated or not. Yeah,
You've seen the block on the summertime.
yeah.
Okay. Do we agree that we can scratch that one off?
That one out.
Can you speak to that, Chris? Quickly, what is I mean, do you feel there's a lot of grilling in the park in the areas that are allowed?
There is a lot of grilling.
In the areas that are allowed, okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, in the areas that are allowed, yes. So the three that we have in Community Board 12, we have one, well, they're all in District 12. One is the street end 203, 203rd Street, I think.
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah,
barbecue area.
There's a
That's the
bunch of
one
them.
on the west side. In Inwood, we have two. One official area is on the peninsula by the nature center. No grills, just tables, but that's the designated zone. And then the other one is in Dykeman Fields by the hockey rink.
oh,
Picnic area 1 is also the barbecue area. Now, yes, people do barbecue all.
I love it.
Okay,
So,
Okay.
but that's
And I'm sorry, I
that's
just
more of
feel
an
like
enforcement issue.
We've got more important issues
But
Yeah.
than putting up a grill.
Yeah.
well, but for some people it is important, like, you know, for certain communities, we don't wanna shut out, yeah.
It's not about, it's
I
about,
think for that, it was like, the other, what is it? You said that, is it the little parts on like 213th or is it?
Sherman Creek.
Sherman Creek.
Sherman Creek, yeah.
Sherman, yeah, cause I know Sherman Creek, there's some areas out over there.
You mean out by like behind the school?
There, the official, but then
Yeah.
a lot of people go on the other side where the path is at, so I wonder if that could just be designated a grilling area for the summertime or, yeah,
Mm.
cause like a lot of like, yeah.
I don't wanna fixate on one
Yeah.
thing, we have a whole this, so, yeah.
all I'm trying to
Just
say,
before we strike this one out, like, could it be that it could just like, can we move to consider that as a picnic area, or just talk to him and just say, hey, can you?
Is this, Daryl, yeah, you
No,
have
this
your
is-
hand up, yeah, okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Tracy.
I was gonna say is that I think we all recognize that grilling is important, but I also think that we recognize as a lot of our communities already use self-help in that respect. Therefore, I think we could take our efforts and put it elsewhere, recognizing that whether or not there's more or less grilling areas, people are gonna grill.
Fair enough.
that's what I'm trying to
Okay.
say, yeah.
Well said.
Well said. All right, and
Madam-
also, I wanna do a quick time check. It's still very early, and this is our longest meeting of the year. We usually do 2 hours. We've been very good, but this meeting might take a little bit longer, but I also, in effort to understand the time constraints, also, let's not fixate on one item so that we can really go through the list and then also hear everybody's pitches. Okay, Daryl?
So I had two things. One, are there any of those in white that can move to the CS section? Like, how does that work exactly? Like, are there any of these that are funded enough that they no longer need our support in the way that in the budget process?
So I would say item 17, rehab badly degraded staircases and retaining walls in Isham Park. The latter part of that is under construction, retaining walls. The staircases remains a need, but the retaining walls is funded and under construction.
21?
17.
No, I'm also mentioning also 21.
21 is funded and is
Yeah.
about to go into design, so.
McKenna Square.
Yeah.
Getting there.
So Chris, you said, I'm sorry, just for the minutes, for that, you said for number 17,
Yes.
that what still needs to be?
The
fixed?
Get rid of Isham Park.
retaining walls in Isham Park are under construction. There are two retaining walls, one up by the memorial benches and the other one kind of the alley between Park Terrace West and Broadway.
Right.
Those will both be reconstructed under this current project, so staircases, there still could be some staircase work. So I would,
So this will say rehabilitate badly degraded staircases, period. Okay.
Right.
And then you said, what's next?
well, 21 renovate McKenna Square Park, that's slated for design. Starting in, it's kind of under its internal design right now, and public input will start in March
Okay,
26th.
so that can be fully moved to CS.
Yes,
Okay.
that's funded. I mean, some of these, Wallenberg Playground, basketball court,
And what number?
sorry, number 23.
Number 23.
Wallenberg Playground and basketball court reconstruction. So the basketball courts have been funded by the council member's office.
Mm-hmm.
The playground would be a separate project,
Which should stay.
so.
So Raul can stay, but the basketball court is already funded.
Yes.
Okay.
The last note would be on going up, back up number 16, Payson Playground and the Park House. We have playground and landscape projects are sort of one category of project, and then buildings like park houses and retaining walls are another type of project, so they would be separate. So if I would say I would separate those two pieces out. It's
So what-
maybe
I mean,
the semantics, but they
Yeah.
are likely to be two separately funded projects. One is the park house, the other is the playground.
I mean, I would say sometimes this committee has put things together.
Yeah.
For the sake of maybe something is not so sexy, so
Yeah.
to speak. So the other thing gets a little more attention.
Well, I defer.
Brings it all
to
to-
I
yeah.
defer to your approach.
So I say that's probably why this is the way it is. I would assume.
So are we?
And then on the
suggest-
other side, there was nothing.
The perimeter playground. Morris Jamel. That's those in building D by Slang. We Hayward Hill 3 and 5, like softball plays on 2, the nature center, and landscape. The other ones are all projects to happen.
That are timely.
Okay.
Great, thank you.
All right. So maybe the one thing that we can do is perhaps, let's go one by one. I think that'll be the most probably cohesive way to do this.
Can I,
So-
another thing?
Sure, hold on, Daryl. I forgot what I was gonna say. Yes.
Oh, you know, okay, so the other thing, and this is, to the committee, there are 6, and I would propose a 7th thing that is related to ADA accessibility. And if you look at the current ones, if we break it down, and we don't have to break it down, but it looks like there's 3 of the current 6, there are 3 that are related to a ADA compliant bathroom, and 3 that is ADA access for some part feature. And I would say, so for instance, there's ADA access, a bathroom for Javits.
Say the numbers, so.
Sorry, yeah, I'll get there. A bathroom for Javits Playground, number 15. A bathroom for Highbridge Park, number 18, and a bathroom for Dykeman Ball Fields, number 19. I would propose maybe putting them all together because it's the same ADA accessible bathroom for each of those. And because sometimes when it comes to board voting, some people tend to vote for their neighborhood and not for other parts of the neighborhood. But this is really a type of project that maybe isn't necessarily neighborhood specific, but it's going into all the various parts that we do, if that makes sense.
Daddy?
I was kind of thinking about something like that, but I wonder if it could even go into like the expense where it could be like a study on like what needs to be ADA and then just like have everything clumped up and then just like make everything go from non-ADA compliant to ADA compliant. I don't know.
Well,
where instead of it just like the list, the little 1, 2, 3, 4, and then maybe like put into one thing. I guess if it's just like one bigger project where it is that the city wants everything to be ADA compliant, like might as well make it into something much bigger than what it is, right?
I mean, I think Parks, correct me if I'm wrong, I think does this when they can. When there is, for instance, what was the one up on the new park? Up by, what is that, up in Inwood?
Up and in.
What new park? There's a new park?
What's that? The new section, what's that called?
The Academy Street, like connecting all the street ends.
Oh, the
North Cove?
Yeah, the North Cove, yeah.
North Cove?
Okay, well, I get whatever it is.
And I
I'm
don't even
thinking
think
that
that's
they Parks tries to make things accessible. They don't always call it ADA accessible. It's just making things more accessible when they do it. But some of the projects here are also making park features that are not accessible, that are not going to be renovated anytime soon to kind of prioritize that renovation. So for instance, like one that I would add would be Linden Terrace, right, in Fort Tryon Park. And you know, some of the others on there.
But can we do the following? Can we just go through the list so we can decide what we're going to strike out, collapse, and then what we're going to add? Can we do that?
That's.
Yeah, because the thing is that we're entering in a discussion about something about the list in a very random way, or whether, sorry. I think we should go in order. That way it's a little bit more cohesive. Does that make sense?
Well,
All right.
I think what his point was just like pumping all those ADA subs together. That's basically like the beginning of his point.
Right.
And they're all in like different orders, so.
So then what we're saying right now, so that we understand, that way we're not jumping from one topic to another, is anything that has to do with ADA should be collapsed together as one big project.
I disagree with that. If that's what we're discussing, I don't mind going line by line, but if we're discussing, should we all collapse it? I have thoughts about that. So whenever we
Okay.
get to the right spot for that.
Okay.
All right. And I do agree, because then in the end, when you collapse them together, then which one gets the priority?
Maybe are we having this discussion now?
Yeah, okay, so let's, from the top, okay, let's go number 13. Okay, Hispanic Society. Are we going to keep it or strike it out?
Chris, didn't they get big funding from Hochul?
I think they got big funding from Hochul. I mean, and it doesn't mean we can keep it, but it doesn't mean that it's going to get ranked as a priority. That's another thing. They did get some funding, like some big funding from Hochul, from Governor Hochul. And I'm assuming that part of that funding will go for this phase 2 project. However, just because it's there, it doesn't mean that you have to rank it as a priority. It's a question of, has it received funding? Is it viable, or has it received funding from elsewhere? Because remember that 2 years ago, we were also talking about strategizing so that, you know, we can put in 50 projects, but is that practical in terms of funding? We want to put in 20 projects, for example, just to throw out a number, in hopes that they will all get funding, or the most amount of funding.
But then again,
So-
our land has like the most parks, so. That's like another thing to kind of like consider.
Right.
But this is not a parks situation. This is a cultural institution.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and I know from the spring anyway, the ADA access thing was not done or even near done.
Oh, no, it's not
Yeah,
done.
yeah.
It's not done. But they did receive a big, some funding for, and I think it's to renovate, I believe, the second floor. But I'm almost positive that part of it is also to include the ADA accessibility. It is. Okay, Alexis, it is. So that means that we can strike out, Hispanic Society.
Or
Right.
keep
Wait,
on
what do you mean?
CS.
Or keep it on CS.
Well. Well, it's not on CS,
It's not.
right?
No, it's not.
Oh, it's number 13.
No, but it's not like on the other side.
It's not on the other side, no.
Yeah, but I'm saying on this part, it wasn't on that.
If it's here, it's not.
Tracy.
My suggestion would be about Hispanic Society is to merge 13, 25, and 26. Of 13, I would take out the language about the roof and so forth and so on, but keep the part about ADA compliance and the thought process about merging it with 13 and 25. Or all three of those are about ADA accessibility and reviewing or accessing. And that's my suggestion for that, is that whatever monies they got for the roof, this is how my thought process from Hochul is for that, but keep that as a part of a collapse thing for those three. That's my thought about 13.
And if I could say, that was,
But then it goes back to what you're saying, Tracy, about collapsing three entities together.
I wasn't able to say my full thought about
So-
that.
I'm so
It's okay.
sorry. Go
No,
ahead.
So
Go ahead, yeah.
my thought about Daryl's thing wasn't to collapse all the ADA stuff together. It was actually to collapse the ADA stuff in two different ways. The first thing was to put together all the ADA stuff about bathrooms together, because I think that most people can be very empathetic that everyone needs to use the bathroom in parks. And I think in terms of getting things passed, by putting all the bathroom ADA stuff together, it's more likely to pass.
Mhm.
And then to put the sort of accessibility viewing platforms and so forth together as a different ADA bundle. Because I feel like, what part of what we're doing is we're trying to do a sort of like PR. What do we think people are gonna do?
Mhm.
And I know sometimes I'm gonna talk about myself when I vote on things. I go, well, I've already voted too much for public safety, so I'm not giving them any more stuff. I'm now gonna look to a different committee and make sure that they're properly represented. And
Mhm.
I feel like people might, and this isn't fair, but my thought process is people might poo-poo, well, do you really need to go to the viewing platform? Even though I find that has value, but I don't think anybody poo-poos the bathroom. And I didn't mean to be funny there. But
I didn't even
No
realize-
pun intended.
I didn't even notice. That's like-
so that was my thought.
The
So-
only reason I have a little, why I just question it, not that I disagree with it, it's because that's Hispanic Society and it's completely separate from a public park. It's a nonprofit cultural institution, so I think for that, we gotta leave that like as a
Separate entity.
yeah,
Daryl?
because of that.
I was actually gonna agree with Tracy, yeah, because that's the way I was going to divide it.
So you
because
get
there-
credit.
Yeah, okay, that there were there's the three bathroom ones that make sense for the three of them to be together. And then there's currently the three other ones with the Hispanic Society, 25 and 26. I would also add Linden Terrace to that and Fort Tryon
Mhm.
Park. So that would be 4 for that, unless we take out Hispanic side, then it's back to 3, but yeah.
The only concern that I have about that is the optics. When you consolidate 4 different locations, can that be construed as, okay, it's either all or nothing, or 1 out of 3, 2 out of 3? Versus if they have their own line, then that's a question of how high up in the ranking can we place this project?
Can I reflect back to or a follow-up question on this,
Absolutely.
when you said?
And then
when you-
Danny.
When you say that is your fear, what you're saying is if you group all the bathrooms together as one line item, then only 2 of them actually get fixed and the other one doesn't? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I mean, for example, if we, here's an example, right? When we look at the basketball court, right? But then again, it's basketball and playground next to each other. That's bundled because of area. Like it would make sense to treat those as 2 separate entities because they're within the same square footage, for example. But if you're telling me, for example, that you want to collapse Hyde Park, Dykeman Battlefields, and J Hood Wright on one line item, are we saying that we want all of these together, or 1 out of 3, or 2 out of 3?
We're saying we want bathrooms for the parks. That's what we're saying.
I just think your example is, I hear it, but I think it's different because there's like a governmental compliance aspect of it. Like under the law, you have to provide bathrooms. Like it's not an option. It's more about a when.
But also where? We're talking about locations here, that's why.
But should a location be prioritized over another location when it comes to something so basic? So,
Yeah, sorry,
Absolutely
Danny,
should not.
Danny was first. Danny, yeah, Danny and then Jody.
Just a little side note, they got $2 million from Kathy Hochul for the Hispanic Society for Infrastructure and ADA compliant bridge.
There you go.
So-
ADA compliant.
So we can strike it
ADA
out.
Compliant bridge. Yeah, so it could, it could.
Thank you,
be-
Danny.
It could be a CS because we don't know what infrastructure they're talking about, and maybe we can ask them before we either strike it out completely or just leave it in CS.
The thing is, Danny, if it would have been CS, it would have been here. It would have been listed as CS. If we list it to be ranked, that leads the board to believe that this issue has not been resolved.
Okay. I get it now. I get it now.
You get it?
Yeah,
Okay,
I
Jody.
get it.
No, I just support
Yeah, go ahead, yeah.
Tracy's,
Okay,
view on it. If we need to remove, the Hispanic Society because it's a cultural event, I get it. But I do definitely agree with you that all the bathrooms should be considered, and no matter where the location is, they all need to be ADA.
okay, so how are we going to, so if we were to collapse this, how would the line read? Go ahead, Danny.
And I do wanna say, like, good job, Tracy, for saying that. And this is why I was like thinking, I wonder if you can make it into an expense thing where just like check all the bathrooms out and then clump it into like one big project where it's just like, oh, like these projects came at these times and these are the more important ones, but they all need to get ADA compliant at some point. You know?
So then we can suggest that during the expense.
Okay.
Right now, we're doing the capital.
Yeah,
And
but
that's not
that-
capital.
Yeah, that's what
Okay?
I was like, in my
All right.
head, that's what I was like thinking, where it could be a bigger project where it could just like, hey,
Okay. So how would the
So-
line read?
I would suggest it says add ADA compliant bathrooms in Javits Playground, Highbridge Park, parentheses by ball fields and water tower, and Dykeman Ball Field.
Say Javits.
Javits Playground, it's 15, 18, and 19,
Collapsed,
combining those.
combined.
Combine.
Okay.
You wanna combine, I'm sorry, 15, sorry, just trying to get this.
15,
written out.
18, and 19.
Okay,
And then to further combine. 25, 26. So J Hood Wright overlook and viewing platform, or sorry, providing ADA accessibility to J Hood Wright overlook and viewing platform, comma, Fort Washington Park Inspiration Point portico, comma, Linden Terrace in Fort Tryon Park.
is Linden Terrace listed?
That would be a new.
That, okay, no.
I thought I saw Linden Terrace.
We used to have it. It used to be there. I don't know why it fell off.
Oh, it was Rock, Linden Terrace, didn't say about ADA accessibility. Number 22.
So before we get to new ones, we want to collapse 15, 18, and 19,
Correct.
and then 25 and 26.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
25 and 20.
Well, 25, 26, and I guess that would fall with 22 as well.
I'm not too sure how like projects work, but I wonder if like 26, if you could just leave that one as is, because it does say repair steps, and I don't know if you've seen like how badly like those steps are.
What item are we looking at?
26.
Yeah, there's two separate.
20.
So like, I wonder if it could just like be like, repair the steps at Inspiration Point, cause they're just like,
Yeah.
that whole place is just like.
Well,
falling
usually
apart.
with ADA accessibility with something like that feature, it's all one thing. They're gonna
Okay.
have steps on like the one side, right? Cause you know how there's what, 4 or 5 steps on one side and then just one on the other.
Yeah, it's
There,
like kind of
yeah.
like, it's like.
So they'll still have them there, but then on the far end, presumably,
Okay.
that's
Oh,
where the
yeah.
ADA accessibility.
Cause I'm just like seeing that there's like repair steps, and I'm like, I've been there so many times, and that whole thing is just like, I'm like surprised it hasn't fallen apart yet, you know?
So we want to keep repair the steps as a separate item from the AD.
We can put it
ADA.
in parentheses with steps, including repairing steps.
Okay,
Cause it's all the same project. They wouldn't do one and not the other.
Yeah, and I would wonder, just easier just to get it all done all at once, especially in such a like weird spot of like the pathway where it's just like in the middle of the highway.
Pathway has to.
Yeah, it's like in the middle
It's
of
double
the,
better.
yeah, it's in the middle of the highway, really.
okay. Okay, any other questions about ADA access bathrooms? Okay, so Gorman, I know that we're not scratching off Gorman Park, right?
No.
Especially now that this is new funding. Okay. I mean, does it stay now that it has the funding, or does it need more funding?
That's a good question.
I'm
I
hot.
guess the question would be, what would the more funding be for, so we could write it in there?
Exactly.
So we keep the
Yeah.
line item, and are we just adding certain language to it?
You're on fire, Tracy.
I mean, my understanding is that the funding is currently for the lower part by the street and then the upper part, but the middle part is still needs work.
Cleaning all of that.
It's, I don't really know the answer, because the funding that was allocated, there's no, the project hasn't been. I don't believe that the way the project was scoped and the funding that's allocated, like, completely meet, so I don't, it may need to be either rescoped to.
It sounds like we need at
Funds that
least
were
another
allocated.
year of this. The way it is, we need another year of this and then we can look at it next year.
I wouldn't say it's safe to say that it's like done.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Which one is that?
let me, we're now 14. We already did 13. We're number 14 now, Gorman Park. So how's about this? Let me pitch this. What do we want Gorman Park to look like, right? Or how can we envision Gorman Park? A park that is accessible to the public from top to bottom, right? And that is not happening. So maybe it's a matter of rewarding, like what is it, what is the ask here now? So Gorman Park has this funding, and it's for the bottom part, or they already did the top part, but the park is still not open to the public. Is that what we want? Like every time we ask for these updates about Gorman Park, what I want to see is Gorman Park open and people using it as a pathway from Broadway to Wadsworth. Right?
It should be open, because there's only two paths to get up there, and that's like the long hill that no one like really takes, and then the tunnel. And then at some point, let's say they do renovate the whole entire tunnel, how else will people get from Wadsworth Terrace all the way down? Like, no one's gonna wanna take 181, and no one's gonna wanna take the hill going up this way. You know, at
Right.
least for the most part, the incline on Gorman Park is like, kind of like slowly but surely gets you up there, you know?
That's the clarifying question.
Yes, and then the gentleman.
Oh,
No, after you, because you asked the board, yeah.
When you talk about it, are you talking about particular paths through? You said the whole way?
There's only one path that goes up, but it's graded kind of like in a way that you can slowly go up there.
But you're saying it's not fully accessible?
It just closed off from both sides.
It's closed off from both
It's
sides.
closed off,
Okay.
yeah.
It just,
Thank you.
yes, yeah.
Got it.
Yes,
One, excuse me, there's one thing
You gotta state your
we're
name,
not looking into.
you gotta state your
Gorman
name
Park.
for the record.
Paul.
One thing you gotta know, that whole park is contaminated from soil for 300 years. The whole area is. So when you have to do something there, it's all contaminated soil. So a lot of work has to be done with the soil and everything else before you can build something there.
Thank
know,
you.
You gotta consider that, because when they run into it, they're gonna run into contaminated soil that leaks all the time. You know, there's a way of healing it, but I'm sorry to say, I'm the only one who knows how to do it in a way that won't do it. But the thing is, that has to be cleared first before anything is done with Gorman Park. Upstairs is already done, you can't do much about it. But down below where it drains, you gotta worry about that part. It's all contaminated soil, anybody goes in there, eventually they're gonna get sick, because it's contaminated soil. Well, 300 years of pollution in this area. So you have
Thank you.
to consider that before you do anything on that.
Thank you, Daryl.
So here it says like Gorman Park Phase 2 to repair and restore the lower part. Maybe where it says Phase 2 on, just eliminating that and just say, you know, like the entire park.
I was actually, can I yes and you?
Yes, please.
I was thinking sort of the exact same thing, except for leave phase 2 and then maybe a semicolon, phase 3 open or fixed path walkways. First, I don't know the correct terminology because I haven't been in that park, but it begins to sort of set up additional money, not just for this,
Yeah.
recognizing phase two, but also beginning to ask for a
Future phase.
yeah, like a future phase, phase three, and maybe Danny can come up with that language, like fix walkway paths, like I don't know what's there, so that's not my part, my bad.
Yeah. All right.
Some sort of language.
Okay.
Yeah.
We already spoke about 15, right? We already spoke about 16, yes?
Yes.
Oh, wait a minute, it's renovate, Payson, okay. Make it, we need repairs to the park house, structure, roof, and make building fully accessible.
We keep.
Okay,
It has to be for one line.
um,
It has to be separate. I think we combine that with it.
No, it's gotta be its own.
That's what I just said.
yeah,
Oh.
Okay. okay. All right, so 17. I don't know why I have rehabilitate badly degraded staircases. It
Here.
seems like that was period. But
isn't
then
it still
where?
in Isham Park? Aren't we supposed to say rehab badly degraded stairs in Isham Park?
Yeah. It's already in, I don't know, I have it striked out because I think
what you
Chris
have
did
is the
say.
retaining walls part stricken out.
Yeah.
We want to keep the language, so
All right.
the language we're gonna strike out is
Oh, okay.
and retaining walls. But we want, so the sentence would read, rehabilitate badly degraded staircases
At
in
Isham Park. Thank you. Okay, very good. Thank you for that. And then we have 18, 19. We decided, okay. So then let's look at item number 20. In Wood Hill, High Bridge, and Fort Tryon Parks, reconstruct 60 miles of park pathways and paving. How do we feel about that?
That's
Leave it?
fine.
Fine?
That's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Keep it? All right. 21, we already spoke about McKenna.
Yeah.
So, okay, 22, renovate and reconstruct Fort Tryon Park's Linden Terrace. Now, this is the floor, right? Is that, we keep talking about Linden Terrace and I keep pitching this idea of making like an honor walk with bricks that my college does and people can buy, like people cannot afford $3,000 bench plaques, but most people can afford like $100 brick with their name. And I keep pitching that to Steve Simon, but that's like a new thing. But we can keep it and then I can share like new. I went to New Paltz and New Paltz has this thing called the Walk of Honor, where people, alumni, professor students, they buy a brick for like maybe $150, and they'll put the brick on the floor. So this is turning into a gorgeous pavement of just names and legacies and thank you, Dad, and past college presidents and all of that. And I keep, oh, really?
That's the bridge that goes over the bridle path at about 84th on the east side.
Right.
There's stones like that, bricks like that.
So we can continue keeping the repairing of Linden Terrace and then with community board or public input, pitch ideas on ways that we can engage the community in the funding endeavor. Alexis?
I just want to go back because Daryl, guys.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sort of agreed with this just a little while ago, that we were gonna combine 22, 25, and 26.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay, so when we were talking about it, I just thought it sounded like we were putting it
Oh,
separate. again.
well,
Well, it is, I mean, that part is separate. So this number 22 is talking about just the, I don't know what the best word for it, the floor. I guess it's for the roots that have the concrete is all over the place there. So it's to fix that, right?
yes. And then why did we decide to collapse it with the other components?
Well, to also provide ADA access to.
Okay.
Terrace, which.
So How about, yeah, go ahead,
I don't-
Tracy.
I don't have a dog in this fight, but I remembered it the way Alexis just stated it, that 22 was separate and we were only collapsing 25 and 26, but
That
I'm
would make
happy
sense.
either
I mean,
way.
that's fine too, yeah.
Yeah, let's do that, because the thing is that with 22, that seems like a completely separate
Right.
project.
So it'd be renovate and reconstruct Port Tryon Park's Linden Terrace
Yes.
and include ADA access.
Luana, I'm sorry to interrupt. Could I make a comment about the Fort?
Go ahead. Oh, I'm so sorry. I have abandoned, yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
The comment about reconstructing the 60 miles of trails in Highbridge Park, Inwood Hill Park, and I think it was Fort Tryon Park as well. Is that correct?
Yes, yes.
I will say that that was a point, a very important point for dealing with the wildfires that we had last summer. A lot of the last fall. A lot of the paths in the lower part are not accessible with vehicles because they've degraded so badly. And there were concerns about not only the paths, but also the fire hydrants in Inwood Hill Park that could not be used in the wildfire response. This has been an ongoing issue, and they had to actually pump water out of the bay, the inlet from the Harlem River. So if it's possible to I don't know, maybe amend that a little bit, but the paths as well as the fire hydrants as part of a wildfire preparedness element, because Highbridge Park saw their own fair share of fires as well.
Can I ask a clarifying question?
Tracy has a clarifying question.
Yeah.
When you say that for number 20, when you say fire hydrants, that they need to fix the ones that are there or insert new ones?
I would say
Hold
fix
on.
the ones that are there. I'm not sure exactly how many there are, but they have not worked for at least 2, if not 3 years. I think the fire department was trying to access them and then realized that they were broken. So they did not work in 2024, and they also did not work for some of the smaller fires we had in 2023 as well. So this is, I mean, Chris, if you want to provide any details on that, but the fire hydrants don't work, and it's a very known issue to park users, I think.
Would the language fix it? I'm sorry, then I'm jumping in. For number 20, if it remains the same, but it read park pathways and pavings and repair all fire hydrants, would
Or
that
install new ones.
repair fire hydrants and or install new ones?
Yes.
And install, that's what I'm sort of trying to get at.
And my question is, do we have purview over that? Is that our committee?
Fire
Parks,
hydrants.
it's parks and parks infrastructure.
You know, because like what the lights, we don't deal with that, right?
No,
That's
I mean, it's
another-
true that the lights are owned and managed by DOT, but I
Yeah.
think it falls under the purview of this committee. If
Right.
parks require additional.
Exactly.
lighting, it falls under the parks committee. So.
So to fix this, it would, so maybe the language should be reconstruct and repair 60 miles of park pathways and pavings and fire hydrants.
Yeah, that sounds, I mean, I can't comment on the state of the fire hydrants in, say, Fort Tryon Park, but that sounds great for us. Thank you.
So when everybody gets this on the shared Google Doc, of course, I'm gonna, to the best of my ability, yeah, you can edit it. You can, it's a collaborative document where if I did not represent the discussion, you can feel free to change it so that it represents tonight's discussion. Okay. We already spoke about item 21. We already spoke about item 22. Let's look at item 23.
So we struck basketball court renovation.
Right.
It's just Raul.
So
What is it about Raul?
exactly, that's
Kinda
what I was gonna ask. What is the request? What is it that we want with this playground?
I mean, my understanding is that the basketball court reconstruction is what was funded.
Right. But does the playground need any work? Oh, that playground's like 30 years old or something, isn't it? Yeah.
So renovate, would that be the appropriate verbiage?
I mean, most of our projects are reconstruction. So like Little Ground is a playground reconstruction.
So reconstruction. But then It's so funny because number 24 says renovate. So item 24. Is there anything that needs to be?
24 is fun, is McKenna? Oh, no.
No,
I'm sorry.
24.
And Loftus.
Playground, so I think I understand, this is the one that's like right at, right at the entrance, the
Yeah.
south entrance.
Yeah.
That was,
At the north,
It's not
it's at the north entrance of Fort Tryon
Yeah.
Park on Dyketon. At
No,
Dyketon.
I understand, I mean, but within Javits, there's the playground on the southeast corner of of Javits, so. That's an older that's an older playground, like with the towers there. It's like just off.
Javits or
Wait,
Loftus
we're
Park?
talking
Javits-
Loftus.
We're looking,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yes, and Loftus, so it's the playground that.
There's a section that's closer to Arden.
Yeah, the section that's right at Arden is older.
Yeah,
Oh, so, yeah, that's happening.
yeah.
But I mean, I feel like that playground has been fully renovated. What am I missing?
Once-
And I live there, I live in the neighborhood.
It's right where you come in,
So,
you turn right into.
so there's
Yeah,
like a
Loftus,
small little section like right in the entrance closer to the bathroom, and there's like 3 little houses there.
Yeah,
And like they're like it's just like hideout benches. It's
no, and they
literally-
have like little instruments and a mirror. I mean, do,
not really. It's just like literally like those, they're just like structures. But those other ones, they're closer to like the green section where it's like lawn. But like that section like behind like the swings, there's nothing. It's like
but I mean, in reality, that also comes like on a hill. There's not much that you can do there other than have like little houses and things like that. Because that's like, it almost looks like an arboretum, almost, right? And it's like on a little,
No,
Hill.
this is on the side along Broadway.
yes,
Yeah,
where there are 3 little houses.
where it's like you see when you're on
It's a little
Arden,
bit hilly, like
when you're on Arden and you're
mountain,
coming
like,
down, it's like right there. But like, you know, I don't know, like if I was a kid, like there's not much people playing in that little section anyway.
my niece does.
Yeah.
I think the point of this, sorry, I think the point of this was also, goes back to Barbara's days. Hi, Barbara, if you're listening.
Yeah, I was gonna
That
say
for the
it's all
sensory
Barbara's,
playground,
yeah.
because there was no sensory playground like north of 96th Street or something before COVID, I don't know.
funded the sensory playground.
And you know where would be a better place to put it, because that place is like very graded, is like probably behind the other section where the other swings are at, like in that section, because that's like more flat, but I'm not too sure how Parks goes about like, oh, like this is a hill, like we can't put sensory section there, and that's a pretty big playground. Like there's like probably other places just in that same playground where you could add that.
And a lot of that was already renovated.
Yeah, the west side of it with the
Right.
with the basketball court, the jungle gym, the work, the fitness center there, and the middle part of it where most of the kids
The water
are like,
feature,
are
yeah.
playing in.
All right.
So, but wait, so
I want to do a time check because we still haven't even gotten to pitching new
8:22.
projects. I hopefully want to be done by 9-ish, okay?
I do have a question.
I'm out in like 10 minutes. So.
Okay, yeah, go ahead, Alexis.
I thought that the sensory playground was funded and done for Ann Loftus. I thought that was done under, what's her name?
Liz.
Yeah, but also what's her name? Before that was there before Jana. Why can't I think? Jennifer Hopper.
Oh,
Jennifer Hop.
For some reason.
I mean, maybe we could have the office look back on this.
Yeah.
We could just keep it for now and have the office, yeah.
But we need verbiage. Raoul Wellberg Playground, what do we want?
Reconstruction.
I'm sorry, just to back up on the Ann Loftus, that, I mean, my understanding, is, yeah, there are sensory.
Yeah.
Oh, so is that done?
Sensory friendly spaces for children with autism spectrum
Yeah.
disorders, yes, multi-sensory play experience for children with sensory impairments.
That's like the
auditory,
green
tactile,
section.
visual.
Yeah, that's
So
like that whole.
it's not this little playground that we're talking
Yeah.
about that hasn't been renovated, but other parts of the playground have.
It's literally, it's like in the green part, like
Yeah.
that little.
Dirt
yeah.
around it.
Renovate?
For Raoul Wallenberg Playground.
So we
Okay, yeah.
can omit 24 though. We can get rid of it.
We can,
Okay, I thought we were looking at 23.
no, we did not.
Oh, so what are we doing with 23?
We just said
Oh.
we're gonna use the word renovate. We're just gonna say renovate Raoul Wallenberg Playground,
Renovate, okay.
right?
No,
Reconstruct.
reconstruct.
Reconstruct. So now, okay, then renovate Eastern. Okay, so then what are we doing here for 24?
It sounds like we're getting rid of it. Cause it's already done.
It's already done.
The sensory piece is done, but I think the piece that says renovate Eastern Broadway perimeter playground and add sensory play, it's a little confusing because there is a sensory component to another part of the playground, but not to this, I don't believe to this,
Okay.
Yeah.
like the little houses that were.
I think, I honestly think, and I live right across the street from Ann Loftus. I really do think that in an effort to redirect the funding to needier areas, because Ann Loftus looks, I think it looks amazing. It's well visited during the summer, during the winter. I think we can, I feel we can comfortably strike out 24. I think.
I'm okay with that. I think
Okay.
this section is that little section that's like on the hill. That's what I think.
With
That
the house-
section-
little
yeah,
houses.
With the little houses, like.
But you know what, Danny, is that really like by adding this, right? Knowing how visited Ann Loftus is, do you really think that that would be practical when there's so many other needs in other parks?
I don't. Every time I walk down that park, there's just like a whole bunch of people just like playing, and most of them they're in the middle. So like it's fine. Just as for me, I'm okay with striking it out.
Okay.
I see those little houses. I'm just like, oh, like they need to be painted. Oh, they need to do this. They need to.
So then paint them.
It's a special kind of paint, like that kind of.
Okay, yeah. I see.
And if I could just point out, the full board was ranked at 52.
Thank you for that.
Why don't we-
Yeah, exactly.
Not that that's.
No, yeah, we just want to be practical, but thank you for that, Daryl. Okay, moving it along. We said we would, combine 25, 26. 27, fund water mitigation okay, so this is the Morris Jamel Mansion. Is any of that funding and the renovation that they're going to, is that part of it? Is that, in other words, this capital project that they're about to embark in, does that cover the water mitigation? It's just the exterior.
And maybe correct me if I'm wrong, my understanding is like this is actual for the grounds, the outside grounds.
Oh.
So what Catherine talks about is like the building and what's going on with the building, and this is what's going on with how water is moving outside. Oh, Chris is correct.
then
The only thing I
Roger
have to
Moore.
say is that we're talking about grounds, they should say Roger.
Right, yeah,
Park,
that's,
not
yeah,
Morris Jamel Mansion.
that's what you're saying, right? Should-
Mansion is the building, Roger Moore
Right.
Park is the.
So we should
park.
change, that's what I was just gonna, yeah, when we were talking about that, Tracy, that's what I was thinking, it has to be changed to Roger Moore Park instead of Morris Jamel Mansion.
Unless
Because,
If that's the intent, I don't know.
well, because too, we gotta remember because, and again, it gets a little funky, because it's a private nonprofit, and that's a different pool of.
Or unless this
Funding.
was somehow secretly for the mansion.
That is not the
And-
case. for Roger Moore's.
Right, I know, but
No,
I'm
no,
talking about,
you know what I think? I think we need clarification because this is also cultural affairs.
Right.
So maybe this actually is for the mansion itself, like the same way we do things for the Hispanic Society. This is for,
Right.
maybe we need a clarification.
well, that's why, yeah, Chris, maybe you can, because will we put this for Roger Moore's Park, or should it be for Morris Jamel Mansion? Because,
The specifics of the fund water mitigation project, so is this?
Yeah.
I don't really know what that means, is it like erosion control, is it water capture coming off the building, is it the like sprinkler and irrigation
Right.
system for the park?
I think we need clarification. I think we keep it,
I'm not sure what the intent is.
but I think
We need
we
clarification.
need clarification.
So then
Keep it
what
for now.
I'm keeping it, and then I'll ask Catherine
Yeah.
what this means. Okay, moving it along?
47 list.
Yeah.
Stormwater management.
Almost there. All right, what can we say about item 29? Chris, can you, yeah, I would like to keep it, but unless Chris has an update on this or.
I don't know the specifics of that. The project that is still ongoing is the HVAC improvement project. So that's essentially a brand new boiler and heating and cooling throughout Highbridge Rec Center. So that's more than 50% done, that project.
Keep it. Keep it.
So I'm not sure about the weatherization. Bless you.
But it sounds like the.
This is for
heating and
windows.
cooling is being.
Heating and cooling is addressed. I'm not sure about the windows
Oh,
themselves.
heating and cooling is addressed.
This sounds like about. the
Well, like, no, actually it says fix windows to retain the heating. and
Retaining
cooling,
it,
So that's
right,
fine.
so
Are the windows being fixed?
they're not part of the HVAC project as far as I'm aware, no.
Okay. So then we can just say fix windows, yes?
No, I think you can keep the whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, got it. Well, we certainly want some asbestos abatement, right?
Yeah.
Which one is building D?
Oh, this is the one
That's
by
the-
Duncan Place,
that's the-
right?
That's the
Building
building.
is just south of Donovan.
It's like in the middle, like right behind the
Oh, that,
the
I know which
lawn,
building,
yeah.
yeah.
It's like a stone house, yeah.
I want.
The roof was redone.
Really?
Roof was redone and the slate roof was redone a number of years ago. Yeah.
So the asbestos abatement was done with that?
Ah.
I don't think the interior was done. I think the envelope was secured. So
Okay.
I don't believe any work was done. So
Well, this doesn't, yeah.
That's like.
So we should keep it as is? Okay, great. All right, let's look at number 31, Lighthouse Link.
What is that?
It's to make a new path from the George Washington Bridge all the way to like Dykeman. Not to Dykeman, but to the dead end of where the other,
lower bike.
yeah, the lower, there's another
Yeah.
bike path that dead ends
Yeah.
about like 0.75 miles, and they want, like, people want to connect that because it is sometimes a little bit hard to go up that hill, which on Strava's they call it like the hardest hill, to go from the,
Yeah, they're wimps.
yeah.
You know, just.
Yeah, it's always hard. It's sometimes hard.
It is. I'll even say it myself, because like when I run up through that path, I'm like, F this hill, but I still gotta go up it, and I get up the hill. But to avoid that hill, they've been, and I remember, like, I think it was like Barbara, or like mostly not younger people want to get that path through because it is much easier to get.
To the lighthouse.
Yeah,
Okay,
Yeah.
so
to get on the path, not to the lighthouse, but to get to the path, because it will then make more people come uptown. It will promote what you call like tourism. It will promote all that stuff.
so we're saying that we want to keep 31, but just to clarify, because Lighthouse Link doesn't make sense to me.
Right, right.
Can we keep keep 31, but maybe change the language to Lighthouse Pathway? And then you have a colon, and then it says create pathway between X and Y. I don't know what the X and Y is, but then we're just being clear about what we want the money to go to, because I'm on this committee and I was like, what's this link?
I know,
Yeah,
because we
So what
discussed
would
it
the
like
X-
last year, yeah.
What would the X and the Y be?
It would-
Create a pathway between what?
between the ending of the lighthouse right under the George Washington Bridge, all the way to the ending of the green path that is,
It's the lower, we call it.
yeah, the lower path that ends,
South of that.
yeah.
South of
So-
what?
South of
South
Where the
Dykeman.
Inwood Canoe Club is along that path.
So
Keep sync between George Washington Bridge and Travelers.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically,
Lower lane.
yeah, the lower
I mean,
lane.
but This,
Or-
like the term lighthouse link is something that's, I think, been used.
Yeah,
For a number
yeah.
of years.
It's a term of art at this point.
Great, yeah.
I think leave that term,
Great.
but to clarify what it actually would link is.
It'll be that.
So lighthouse link, create pathway between under the George Washington Bridge and Lower Greenway.
Yeah,
Essentially Little Red Lighthouse.
Yeah, I mean, we can basically say from Little Red Light.
Little Red Lighthouse.
Dykeman
To Dykeman.
Complete the one to Dykeman Street.
So-
because-
Along the water.
yeah,
Yeah,
Dykeman that leads to La Marina Park or
Yeah, okay.
whatever.
I see
Yeah,
Dykeman Street
yeah,
is
Dykeman
actually
Street,
easier.
Okay, so
That might-
lighthouse link, create pathway between Little Red Lighthouse and Dykeman.
yeah.
Okay.
But say.
Along the shore.
Yeah, exactly, it's there.
Is that under parks though? Would parks, okay, thank you. Okay, so almost there because we still have to make our pitches.
But doesn't Amtrak own some of that
Well,
area?
Amtrak has the right of way, but, you know,
And just for this line item, since it's already here, we just need the sentence.
it's
Yeah,
for
it's
Washington Park, just for.
Okay, Little Red Lighthouse, Fort Washington Park to Lower Greenway, Dykeman. Or to just a Dykeman.
Yeah.
Okay. I have it. All right, so item to 32, renovate, repair sidewalk pavers on west side of Cabrini Boulevard, adjacent to Fort Tryon. I mean, repair sidewalk pavers?
It's Bluestone.
Yeah,
It's like adjacent to the bird sanctuary. Along Cabrini Boulevard, so this is the
Oh, yes.
west.
Got it.
Corner of the park.
Yes,
So the
yeah,
sidewalk that where you're up above the park.
got
and
it.
just so we're clear,
Bluestone.
is that just the sidewalk or would that include the wall? Would that include the fence?
The wall, from what I understand, is in good shape, the fence is in good shape, it would be probably curbed to. Fence or something to that extent.
And that, would that also include, sorry, because I walk that path all the time, like to go to the street rather than,
Typically, these projects, well.
because the
like, for
pavers
example,
currently do not go to the street.
The pavers don't, no, there's a grassy
Yeah.
strip and,
Yeah.
and there's quite a height differential in
Yeah.
spots too, so, I mean, it's a. From the pavers to the grassy strip is a tripping hazard and at this point, the curb is often just like an inch or so above the pavement.
Yeah.
Because the pavement is kind of,
Yeah.
so things have shifted, so it's.
Right.
It's project.
All right, we can keep it.
It's definitely needed.
Okay, great. So I want to look at items or bring to your attention items 33 and 34 because we are already doing some work in some of the ball fields. And I guess the question is, which other ball fields are in need? Or if this current massive renovation of a ball field, will that take away from this?
Isn't 3 and 5 phase 2 of the renovation?
Three and
Yeah.
5 were not funded. I'm not sure if it was originally pitched as all 5 ball fields, but 3 and 5 were not funded, so these are the 2 northern ball fields closer to Indian Road Playground.
Right.
So 1, 2, and 4 are being reconstructed and in fact, the regraded and all that, new water service, so on and so.
So we can strike both
Ball
out.
field- Ball field 3 and 5, from what I understand, yeah, are still slated. I mean, they.
They have
from my
funding.
understanding,
They need
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I don't mean, no pun intended, strike them out.
Oh, all of our other ball fields need work.
Yeah.
So which ball fields need work still?
Ball field 3 and
Like-
5, ball fields 1, 2, 3, and 4 in Dykeman Fields, Michael Busek ball
Well,
field.
hold on, Chris.
Sorry.
Hold on.
I
on.
can't prioritize.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
we just want to know, so in Winter Hill Park, ball fields 3 and 5 do need funding.
They do.
Okay.
The fence,
Okay.
the fences are in terrible shape.
We'll leave it there.
Yeah.
And
Can we
the-
add,
and
just
then-
to be,
Yeah, go ahead.
sorry, just
Go
to be
ahead.
consistent, add rehabilitate or reconstruct or
Reconstruct.
renovate or whatever?
Done. And then Dykeman softball fields 1 and 2. Yes?
In Dykeman Fields, there are 4 ball fields.
Okay.
They're all,
Yeah, that's the
Sort of
confusing part
equally
about the whole
in need.
situation.
They're all in need.
Yeah.
Saying
the confusing part is that there's the Dykeman section and then there's the.
Inwood Hill, yeah,
section.
that's why.
Right, so
Yeah.
it's
So
ball
why-
fields 1 through 6, and then Dykeman Fields 1 to 4.
Why did we decide, refresh my memory, to just put 1 and 2? When there are 4 in Inwood and.
1, 2, and 4 that are currently under construction. I don't know.
Oh, wait a minute, so wait, hold on. Dykeman softball fields are under construction,
Well.
1 and 2, and
not
4, you
in
just said it.
No, I'm sorry, not Dykeman, Inwood.
Inward.
Inwood Hill.
Inwood, yeah.
Got it.
I'm sorry, rehab Dykeman softball fields 1 and 2, correct, they do need it, I don't know that they need it.
Okay.
3 and 4, but-
Yeah.
Okay, so we agree that we're gonna keep it, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So moving along, okay, so this to me is a little bit ambiguous because item 35, which was ranked by the board, 57. Community garden, prepare land, make accessible, soil mitigation, which community
I
garden?
think that just meant, I think it was, if I remember correctly, it was supposed to be overall support for community gardens.
Okay,
So, I mean, I know we have one by us, Morris Jamel, or what is it called, Jamel?
Yeah, Jamel.
Community
Terrace,
garden?
Jamel-
Yeah. I don't remember the name of it, but it's by our house, we know that.
That's a nice.
It's, we live near it, we know that. Tracy and I do know that we live near it.
It's the
Remember the name, but remember,
so, but the ring garden is maintained through volunteers and a nonprofit, I believe.
yeah,
They're both community
all,
gardens.
all the community.
So then I need clarification, are we keeping this? Because to me, this is like super ambiguous.
So technically, the community gardens are responsible for maintaining and running them. Like they're supposed to do their,
Who's they?
they're like
volunteers?
nonprofits, yeah. But
Exactly.
They're volunteer run. And then they have their own, like they have not 501c3 statuses, separate.
But this is funding from
This is
city
funding.
council.
Right, so doesn't mention a particular community garden, no, that's the issue, that's what makes it so ambiguous. What, the community garden that was at Fort Collegiate, they did find a new space, I believe, I think at Cabrini or something like that. I think something like this,
Yeah.
right?
But was that really a real community garden? Cause it was like private fence.
Yeah, but it was part of the church.
I don't think that this language reflects a capital improvement.
It's just, yeah, like it's really overall support for community gardens.
I
In the name.
wonder if we can get clarification maybe from Jennifer Bristol, who deals with the ring garden.
Could I ask a question, because it's mainly the reason I'm here?
Oh, sure.
I do the steps, as you know, Carol, I do the steps at 181st Street, Pinehurst. Okay, so I don't think I mentioned actually before, but you probably know, Chief. So I would like to know, I believe there was money allocated for it. This is why we keep coming to the meetings, and the money was allocated, they did Bennett Park, and then.
The money was
There's a
allocated
design.
where?
It's I think it has to go, back to procurement, because we had the issue with scaffolding, scaffolding's coming down. And then Apache, it was awarded to Apache.
Yes.
Apache was redoing the central lawn at Bennett Park, and this was just like 2 blocks away. And so they were going to do this as well, and then the project wasn't able to happen because there was construction on the private building
Well,
on
and
either
also
side.
COVID too.
But that as well.
This was well
Right,
before.
but at that point.
I'm asking what's
yeah.
happening now.
Oh, so, okay, so.
If the
I mean-
money was there.
Yeah, the money's still there, it didn't go anywhere.
Okay,
It has to go back, it has to be re-procured essentially, it has to be re-awarded to another contractor. So the design is there, the design is the design, and
So if the money's there.
yes.
How, is it another bid? Is it another?
That's-
How many
it's-
years does
I
that
have-
take?
I'll have to ask
Okay.
Steve, I have to follow up with you,
Well,
but-
okay.
but yeah, I can get an answer for you, it's been, because now it's
Because
a.
if it's not, then I want to.
No, the money hasn't gone anywhere, it's still allocated, it hasn't been older.
Yeah, cause the step used to be on here
Yes,
a long time ago.
yeah,
Yeah.
Right.
funded,
You
designed,
don't need, yeah.
procured, awarded, and then paused. So it has to be re-awarded. I don't know if it has to completely go out to bid or not, I will find that out.
Well, it should, because if it has to go out to bid again,
Yeah,
that,
no, I understand.
how many years is that? This has been like.
All right, we want to refocus the meeting on the ranking and the projects. Thank you. Okay, so Alexis, did you want to say about?
No, we're gonna strike community gardens.
I mean, I can ask John.
Well, also too, NYRP does a lot with these community gardens too. Like they give money and they
Right.
have other funding, so I don't think that. I think we have bigger fish to fry, I guess.
I think it's not,
Last.
I think it's not practical to list something that's so ambiguous that is not going to get a high ranking.
Yeah.
Because we're not being specific in terms of a community garden, and a community garden, unless you're saying build a community garden at this intersection, that's a capital project. Does that make
Yes,
sense?
because most of these community gardens do have their land prepared, they're already,
Yeah.
in motions, yes.
Okay. Inwood Hill Park Nature Center, add a learning landscape. I think that the Inwood Hill Park, the Nature Center is a well-oiled machine. Yeah, Kai is probably on here, or maybe not, because we're running a little bit, yeah.
No, we're
Yeah.
here.
Oh, you're here. Thank
Yeah.
Kaya, you're such a trooper. You know that October meeting is always the longest, but
Yeah.
I'm determined to keep it at 3 hours.
Okay,
2 hours for regular meeting, 3 for ranking meetings.
all right, Kaya, my kukla, let's tell us what we need to
Kukla,
know.
yeah. I mean, I honestly think that, the Inward Learning, the Nature Center was inaugurated, when was it? Last year? It's
Last
spanking
June.
brand new. Is it practical to add another ask with so many other needs? Because I don't even know what a learning landscape is. What is that?
Yeah, Kaya, can you?
I don't
fill us in?
remember.
'Cause we can't-
So
Honestly.
I will say that the rangers that are based out of there cover all of Manhattan. So they have a very, very wide purview. And then the goal is that they're going to be getting new exhibits that are, museum quality exhibits. And that is planned for maybe the second quarter of 2026. But the way they describe it, it's happening. It's good. So I'm not sure if that was done through this process, but the funding seems quite secure, and they do talk about it as if it's a done deal. So Chris, I don't know if you've heard anything further. I don't want to turn down the opportunity for money for my park. That feels wrong.
No, this would not be that, it would just be. for
We're
the
just trying to be
project.
practical and not,
Not
and
trying to take money.
equitable.
I have a feeling that the learning landscape was the garden spaces outside of the nature center.
Right.
But so Kaya, the garden space immediately outside the nature center was developed as pollinator garden,
Right.
native pollinator garden of sorts.
Right.
I don't know if that covers this or not. It sounds like there's some intention as to what, there's some vagueness as to what a learning landscape is. So whether or not the project met that, they did do landscape work outside the nature center. They redid that whole
Okay.
garden right outside.
And the pollinators and all of that.
Constitutes a learning landscape, may be a matter of, I don't know.
I'm going to vote for, we can strike this one out, because I think it's a well-oiled machine. My niece loves it. I love it.
Oh,
Unless anybody opposes or anybody wants to provide verbiage for what a learning landscape is and what kind of funding that would require.
I will say there are 2 green spaces near the Inwood Nature Center. So there's the fenced in area that they have where their wigwam is, where they have a lot of milkweed that's been provided by the Inwood Butterfly Sanctuary. That I think is very well tended and very well taken care of. What I could see as a meaningful ask for them is the garden the planted area directly in front of the nature center, which was partially installed by the landscaper, but it just seems like that work sort of trailed off and was never fully completed, and it hasn't been maintained as such. Friends of Inwood Hill Park is looking at doing so, but we don't have a specific line item in our budget for doing so. I'm not saying that this line item would be for the benefit of us, it would even be for us, but it would be for the development of the garden that is there, that is sort of, you see that it ends about 2/3 of the way through. It goes from plantings to grass. And I'm not sure if there's a sprinkler system or how well that works. So I think the opportunity to add funding to that and then build it as part of the nature center programming is meaningful and is beneficial and would not be beyond the scope of it. I mean, if it's a 15K cap, then I think that's definitely doable with that funding there. So then if that is the case, then I do think that that's a worthwhile use of funds.
But we're still trying to figure out what's the learning. Do you know, can you think of what the learning landscape might have meant?
I would say that the learning landscape would be the area directly in front of the nature center. So when you're walking in, there's the sign that they have out front. You're coming in, the baseball field is directly across. There's a large manicured area that has been partially completed by the landscapers with the reopening last year, but I don't know if the landscapers ran out of money or time or what, but they just left about a third of it incomplete and it's not maintained in any particularly regular way.
So two things.
Yeah.
We can comfortably strike out this line item 36, but then perhaps a new line item for Inwood Hill would be the garden where, Kaya?
Directly in front of the nature center.
Nature Center Garden.
I will say, just from a practical standpoint, the fact that that garden was essentially reconstructed as part of the Inwood Nature Center project.
Mhm.
Less than 2 years ago,
Oh.
it's unlikely to get like.
Gotcha.
That's why, yeah, you heard that, Kaya?
Yeah.
I
okay,
mean,
that makes sense.
we can put it in as a line item, but it,
Resources can't go in there, but.
yeah.
From a.
But it doesn't
Okay.
mean that it will get ranked highly, especially if you're saying that it's a garden. The way that people might sort of like rationalize the low ranking, not a high priority, is, well, volunteers and it's a garden and all of that. So what do we think, Camille?
Yeah, I feel like, I know this was just funded, so I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right. I mean, I think the
Sorry,
Payson Park
Kaya.
House and the fire hydrants, we have to pick and choose our priorities, but I appreciate the
Exactly.
consideration.
Exactly. Thank you, Kaya. And then the last one, this is my pet, like I will forever advocate for a roller skating rink.
This one for rollers.
Yes. If it worked in Brooklyn with LeFrock, it's just opening a concession, like for parks to manage it with a concession. Yeah, Jody.
Just the name of the park.
Oh, it's in Dykeman Fields.
So we probably need to just put that there.
It doesn't say that.
Oh, it doesn't say it. Yeah, and that was my pitch. Okay. So this is it. So we're ready to hear pitches. You know what we can do? We can just talk about it and then you can include it in the Excel sheet that I will be sending. Because we need to move to programming, to expense, and all of those have been funded. So I'm going to start. My two projects will forever be the roller skating rink and rehabilitating the former Payson preschool and opening up to the public as a sort of like a public space for lectures, art shows, whatever that may be. I don't know how possible it is, but that's what I'm pitching and it's already included, right?
Yeah.
So that's going to be, oh, and also if anybody can remind me, remember the gentleman that came in wanting to do a walkthrough by Wright Brothers.
Sebastian. Isn't that his name?
Sebastian, yeah, I think so.
I don't know.
Maybe not.
Can we please add it as a new project to rehabilitate that
Yes.
area?
Which area?
The
It's
Wright brothers.
Wright Brothers.
Wright Brothers program, I think it's 156 in St. Nicholas, Texas.
So that's my new program and I'll add it into the sheet. We can just talk about it now before we move to expense. And then just add it onto the Excel sheet. I just wanted people for public record, for people to hear our pitches.
Damon, that's his name.
It's not, it's Damon.
Damon? Okay.
I get some bachelor's.
So Diogenes, you know what, let me start, I always start with you, Diogenes, on this side. You wanna start, Danny?
Just one,
One, okay,
so-
which you will add to the Excel sheet.
Yeah, to rehabilitate the workout area in Wood Hill Park where there's the Lonely Pillow Bar. So just to make that like how they put the new Inwood Hill park section by Dykeman Fields, like the same way how they did in Loftus Park and like the same way how they did in Javits Park. So like that'll be nice to have that section.
I'm sorry, can you guys, can you take that outside, cause I have to, I'm old and I have to hear, thank you.
Yeah, so like, and I don't think there's any other section that's accessible that's in that area to do like outside workouts. That's it.
And that's also why I advocate for the roller skating, because it's accessible, it's low impact, and we need, not everybody, I grew up in the eighties, not everybody's an aerobics queen.
Yeah.
So we need diversity in fitness, so thank you
Yeah.
for that. That's your only project?
That's it.
You will include it in the sheet.
I got you.
Okay. Jody, do you have any pitches?
I do have one.
Great.
I would like to suggest, there's an area, do you know the area around 158th Street and Riverside Drive?
Yes.
As it's actually, it's as you go in down under the Henry Hudson Parkway
Mhm.
onto the Greenway. And there is an area that has basketball courts and all under the bridge. And it's something that Sean and I have been talking about. It is an area that a lot of people in Washington Heights use to access the Greenway, especially during the beautiful summer months. And it also has these absolutely horrible looking basketball courts. There's no lighting, the accessibility to get to this Greenway for, you know, the 4th of July holidays. Everybody takes their wagons, their grills. Chris, you know this area. You and I have talked about it. And
Great.
the sidewalk goes down. It's a ramping system underneath the Hudson Parkway. The basketball courts are there, and then it takes you into the Greenway. And if that could be renovated with good lighting, good ramping, and good basketball.
You gotta talk to Domingo about that.
In a center. I've talked to a lot of the kids. They all play basketball down there.
Is
the
there a name?
teenagers.
Is there a name? Is there like a name?
I'm gonna have to, I haven't, I'll do it. No, I don't think it does. Chris, does it? Does it have a name? I think it's just Fort Washington Park.
Yeah, it's part of Fort Washington.
Park and that area underneath the bridge there.
It's technically called there, it's just part of Fort Washington. Park,
So-
yeah.
And
when
that's
you-
one of
That
the
falls
entrances to the
Okay.
Fort Washington, to the Greenway,
And that
Fort
falls under
Washington
District
Park.
14, Riverside.
And it's 158th
does?
Street and
District 14 is not us?
No,
No, oh, sorry.
It falls under,
it doesn't fall under you guys,
it
but it
doesn't
falls
fall,
under
I'm
Sean
sorry,
Brayer.
not community board. It
Right,
falls
yeah.
Under,
But it is Community Board 12.
it's a good question.
It is, I'm absolutely
Yeah.
positive it's
Okay.
Community Board 12. But I will check to make sure. It falls under
Yes.
Sean Abreu, and
Yes.
the difficulty is
I don't know
that
if
it doesn't fall under your, it's John.
John Harold, right. It's
Harold.
Part of Riverside.
It's his area,
Conservancy manages those spaces.
but I'm pretty sure it's Community
Okay.
Board 12.
So when you populate your activity, specificity matters and location matters. Okay, so if I'm going to say that I would like to see a restoration of this playground, then, you know, it helps to be specific. Yes, question, Daryl, you have a
Oh, I
question?
had a additional suggestion
For this
for a
project?
new project.
We're going around.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay, go ahead.
I think everybody agreed with 155th Street on the other side of Dunkin' Donuts and Edgecombe.
Mhm.
Restoration there between benches and maybe even start having
Yeah,
a
that's-
few events there.
That's the right brother.
What happened?
That's the right brother.
That's the Wright brothers, right?
No,
No.
no.
Luminaries.
Luminaries Lawn, okay. All right, so you're gonna write it down
Yeah.
in the sheet,
North
okay.
of the Sugar Hill.
I have to say this, we're only having the discussion, everybody is responsible for populating the Excel sheet with your respective project, okay? All right. Yes,
We moved on, I wanted to say something. about
I'm so
her
sorry,
project.
Tracy, go
It's
ahead.
okay. I thought Daryl was about her
Exactly.
project,
No,
and
no,
we
no.
moved on.
Questions, yeah.
No, I was gonna say is that if one of the things in your thing I suggest you add is lights for the basketball courts, because where the basketball courts is perpetually dark because it's literally under the overpass. So it's not just a basketball reconstruction, it's also it needs lighting always.
I'm literally gonna, you trust me, we've been working with Sean Abreu on this. I think he's gonna provide the funding for it, but I'm not positive.
But
And lighting is a big,
that's
you're
the part,
absolutely
because
right.
as a woman, it feels very unsafe under
Yes.
there.
Yeah,
And even during the like midday, I know, girl.
That's
And
down
that's-
all those stairs.
Yes, if you go down all the stairs, it doesn't matter the time of day, it's always dark and feels like you're gonna get mugged. So I love the fact that children are still using that, but I think with lighting, it'll make it feel safe and accessible. So that was my one, I love that.
And I agree with you completely.
the only question that I have before I move it to, do you have a question?
No, I was just commenting on the maps, like that section is like right in the middle of whatever community board 12 is and the next one under it is. So it's just like I don't know.
155 starts our community board 12 starts at.
And that's why I'm
155.
confused with
This
Sean
is
Abreu.
158. So it's, I think, well within the community board 12's jurisdiction, this area, and
Yeah, because I think like the area that you're talking about is like right under that dark area, but then there's some basketball courts past that, and then there's some going up, and then there's the handball courts.
I'm
what I'll say?
specifically
Just
talking
save
about
time,
I'm gonna do a time check, this
Yeah.
is a time where I,
Just to
Yes.
save time,
Yeah.
and I will confirm all of this before I put it on that sheet.
Thank
And
you.
ensure that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Community.
Because it is like just like kind of like
Alexis.
Yeah, I'll check, I thank you, I'll check.
Okay, Alexis, Daryl.
I did have one thing and then she reminded me of another, but this is a question, those, how do I say, off of Haven, where there's that path that goes down and then it zigzags, and then there's the tunnel.
Okay.
Is that Port Authority or is that Parks?
Both.
It is. So it's.
Yes.
It's in big, okay, it's in big
Some of
need
it
of
is-
renovation.
Some of this DOT, some of this.
Yes, because it is,
David, right, from Haven Avenue down to Riverside Drive.
it's dark, it feels unsafe, there's a lot of, I would say homelessness, drug activity maybe in that area.
Yes.
So
What's the project?
it's to renovate it
Renovate it.
because of the
Yeah.
dilapidation. Even if you're just wanting to walk from one of the, you can't even hold the rail because it's so rusted.
Technical name is, I believe the official name is Haven Ave ramp. We refer
But
to
it's
it as the
sticky.
zigzag.
Go ahead, yeah,
We refer to it as the zigzag, it's the Haven Ave ramp.
yeah.
Much of it underneath the highway is part of, I believe, Fort Washington. And then some of it is Port Authority, the bridge. Is either DOT or Port Authority, it's a mishmash,
Yeah,
but Parks is definitely in there.
Okay,
so I would definitely say renovate or reconstruction of the Haven Avenue ramp.
all right, you can put it in the
Okay.
sheet when you get it.
And then also, I don't know, do we look into things that maybe aren't utilized as much, and maybe you know how much they're utilized? Like the handball courts north of the basketball court she was talking about, and the volleyball courts. Cause I noticed, I think last time I was down there, the volleyball courts didn't have a net up. And I've played volleyball, I wouldn't wanna play there because
Where?
hit it, it
In
goes into
Fort
the river.
Washington, the volleyball courts that are north of there are very well utilized, like by Discovery Playground. and
Right, that-
around
okay.
there.
All right,
they're
if they are.
Super well used, I don't know about the ones under the highway.
They're used every weekend.
Okay.
Like those guys are.
People put a string up.
Oh my
their
god,
own.
they're hardcore.
Yeah,
Oh man.
It's not really volleyball that they're playing, but that's enough.
Tracy?
My idea is I'm gonna say something and you're gonna think you know what I'm talking about, and it's not. So I'm gonna start with, it's not the area owned by Casamitas. It is the opposite triangle on 162nd Street in Amsterdam, the actual, I want a creation of a new park. That's my dream. It's just sidewalk. And right now there's
By the pharmacy, you mean the one across from Seatown?
the one across from Seatown. And if you look, it's on a map, it looks like Greenway, but it's just sidewalk. And there are benches and there are flowers and things. But the issue is that it should, like all the triangles downtown, it needs a proper fence and it needs to be controlled by parks. So what I want is money for a new park. St. Nicholas Park.
There you go.
That's
Already
my-
have a St. Nicholas Park.
And
And
that
that
girl, that
falls-
Tracy McNeil Park. We'll figure out
There
the
you go.
name. I need,
Miles Park.
No,
I know, but
you don't want that, cause then you gotta be dead for like 3 years.
I,
Oh,
You know
God,
what?
that's sinister.
I'm just
Oh, move it along.
I'm just saying.
You know what?
So I know,
No,
Doug and
to-
Michael.
To name it after someone, you have to be passed away.
That became dark.
That's just, it's just technical. It's not dark, it's just
Okay,
technical.
well,
Yeah.
move
I
along.
want to take that long to
You
get
can
it.
think about it. Yeah, we want you to think about it.
Okay, guys,
I
I
think
know
we
that
were
we're
talking
getting
about it
restless,
Before
but
as a viewing park, not necessarily, it doesn't have to be a recreation park, right?
I want it to be like all of the parks in the West Village.
Right.
That there's a gate and it closes at 9 o'clock. And then every morning someone has to come and unlock the gate and let them in. If you look by Carmine Street, by West 4th Street train station, there are 4 parks there that are just triangles with gates around.
Father Demos.
There's-
Yeah, exactly. And that's what.
so a space reimagined.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah.
I got you.
What I'm trying to say.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's right. Not your fault. So you're our neighbors, Doug and Michael.
I know they've been working on it.
Yeah, they've been working on that with Jana, like trying to get everything cleaned up. So that's all I just wanted.
Well, you know what? I'm trying to put it in here.
Exactly,
And
so
then
that
when
it
she
gets
goes,
ranked.
No, I get it. I'm just making a comment. Oh, I'm sorry. So I'm gonna talk to them, cause see how far they've gotten with. Do you have their numbers? I'll text you their numbers.
I'll
And
knock
then-
on their door.
Yeah, and see, just see how far they've gotten with Jen. Cause I know Doug has been. That's his, thorn in his side.
And if city council can fund it via ranking, then even better. A space reimagined. Tracy, final words?
That was it?
Okay. Diogenes,
This is my first time doing it,
right.
so I don't know if this is correct or whatnot. Let's just capital upgrades to the parks and to the fields. Pretty much more lighting, more resurfacing of the fields, you know. The parks, our parks see 1,000 kids, whether it's from DYC programming
Yeah.
or after school programs or, you know, community leagues, just making sure that they're
Right.
looking nice, you know, and
Right.
even when it rains, that it doesn't take 3 days for the fields to be used again. I think that's a big problem we have here in our community.
Right.
So this, I don't know how to word that in this lingo
Well,
that we have.
so just for a little bit of guidance,
Mhm.
Diogenes. What we're doing here is being very specific
Mhm.
in terms of identifying areas that would require dedicated monies from the city council. So when we say, oh, the parks need lighting,
Highbridge.
we need, exactly, you need to say what part of Highbridge and what is it that it needs the most. So you see how Tracy, for example, she identified something in the area that can be reimagined, I love that word, as a space, as a communal space. She's being specific as to where is it and what it needs. We don't know how many dollars it can take, but all we're saying is that we're making an observation and now we want city council to step in and fund this.
Yeah.
Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah, no,
Great. Yeah, yes.
I was gonna say is also just to reflect back what I heard from you, it almost sounds like there's like a secondary project that you might be asking for, which is outside of like everything to be rehabilitated. It sounds like you also just want to study happening about which parks might have drainage issues
Or lighting issues.
and or, right, do you know what I mean? So like one thing you might be asking for park X, Y, and Z to be rehabilitated, but the other thing is go search out like so just what I based upon what I was hearing.
Appreciate it.
So that's an excellent segue because now we're gonna look at expenses. And let me tell you, the good news is that everything was funded. Yes, Jody?
Can I just ask you, are we approving all the things that we just talked about so that they are going on this list?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah, for ranking, but then it goes before,
Right,
first
I
it
do-
goes before the committee, which we will do on our own once the list gets finalized, and then it goes before the board.
Right, and I just, because we had taken some off, I just wanted to make sure that we were approving everything that we were
Yes.
just talking about.
Yes.
Luana, would it-
Kaya, yes, yes,
Would it be
Kaya.
possible for us, I mean, I guess as a member of the public, but also as a programmatic partner, to make any suggestions?
Oh, for expense.
I guess for capital, but you can tell me if it fits into either thing.
We're done with capital.
Okay.
We're moving on to expense.
Can I make suggestions for expense? Can you describe what?
Sure, but
expense?
the board has to discuss first before opening up to the public.
Sure,
That's
sure,
what I mean.
absolutely.
We haven't started with expense. We're just like, we're finished with capital and now we're gonna talk about expenses. Does that make sense?
Capital's done. I can't give you any 1, 2.
Oh,
capital?
yes, but you keep saying expense. That's
Oh,
why.
oh, I'm sorry. Yes. Can I give you 1 or 2 for
Keep saying
expense?
expense.
For capital. Oh my goodness. It's a late night.
Okay. Yes, capital. Go ahead.
So a couple of the issues that we have, kind of actually following off of Johannes' suggestions with erosion, we do have a big erosion issue in Woodhill Park. It's something that Chris is constantly asking if we'll do something to deal with the erosion issues, because the drainage to the park is original back from the 20s and 30s. It's not prepared to deal with the type of climate change and the type of extreme precipitations event that we have. Sea level rise, flooding, hurricanes like the ones that washed away my neighbor's driveway and flipped a car, this kind of thing. So dealing with erosion control issues both in Woodhill Park and then also in Fort Tryon and also in Highbridge. This is stuff that NYRP has been dealing with for a very long time. So I'm trying to keep everything that's multi-park so it doesn't sound like I'm asking just for me. These are bye, Tracy.
Bye,
The erosion control issues are something that's been happening across northern Manhattan because these are parks that are built partially on reclaimed land, and they're also vulnerable to flooding, and they're also partially built on swampland. So it's kind of sinking and it's just sort of melting away. It's infrastructure that just hasn't been maintained and updated. So erosion control for Fort Tryon, Woodhill Park, and Highbridge would be my number 1. My number 2 is a suggested.
Hold on, Kaya. Daryl has a question.
Yeah.
I'm just curious if that's under our purview. I feel like it's Steve's committed.
Land use?
No. Oh, land use.
No, environmental, is environment. A lot of resilience stuff has been under the environment.
I get that, but I think it's because it's all happening within a park itself, and the work that Parks has already done to deal with the erosion control issues has come from within parks. Like the drainage snaking that happened in Woodhill was done under Chris Heitman.
I mean, I would just say ask Steve.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No,
No, I'm talking to Luana, sorry.
Yeah.
And then we can decide if we want to include it as a board.
Yeah.
As a committee.
Yeah.
All right.
The other one I would say, something we've been trying to advocate for, is a recycling program in the parks. We get a ton of litter. We get a ton of people having picnics parties. They have cans, they have bottles, the trash cans overflow. Where you see in Central Park, they do mixed use recycling, so it doesn't end up everything in the trash can. We have none of that anywhere in any other parks. There's no reason our uptown parks don't deserve a clean and safe place for people to enjoy it. Overflows of litter would be mitigated. Danny, you know what I'm talking about. You run along these paths, you see trash everywhere, getting cans and bottles out, people coming through, doing canning stuff, just giving that a clean and safe way for us to deal with waste in the Uptown Park systems and the trash issues overall.
That's not necessarily capital.
Okay.
Because yeah, but Daryl, did you want to say something? You were saying something about
For
this?
that specifically, because I know we've talked about that for years, that's definitely a health and environment committee.
Health and
Oh, okay.
environment.
Gotcha, gotcha.
I wonder if it's to buy more trash receptacles and put them in the park.
Sure. I think the issue there is you need people who can also use the packer. So you have it's about personnel and it's about equipment as well. So it's not capital in the same way of like build me a new playground, but it is definitely an expenditure.
Okay.
And then I think
So
the last one, I'm sorry, this is
yes, last one, Kaya.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, last one.
Is a discussion about a boardwalk being installed in Inwood Hill Park in an area near the regenerating marsh that has repeatedly experienced flooding. I'm not just talking about during storms, I'm also talking about daytime flooding. When we have high tides, we get a puddle that's about 20 feet in length. It's completely impassable. You get your shoes get soaked. We've had a feasibility study done by the Barnard Capstone Project recommending the installation of the boardwalk, and I can provide further detail about it. It's something that Jana and Chris are familiar with. Bringing it up as a form of climate resiliency. So obviously this is something that needs to be discussed with Steve Simon as well. But it's something that's been talked about for a very long time in terms of adding this sort of accessibility, but then also climate mitigation, restoring a more natural coast and shoreline and a living shoreline to our park, similar to what's been done in Jersey, to what's been done in Pelham Bay Park. I think it's a great opportunity for us to be more prepared and to expand a natural feature to the area. We're really proud to have one of the few surviving saltwater marshes in Manhattan, and this would allow it to grow and be expanded as a feature of the park that I think would bring a lot of interest.
Take that, Robin Moses.
Yeah, take that.
Okay.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Kaya. Thank you. And then you can email me, Kaya, with that verbiage, okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, the good news is as we are almost trying to end this meeting at 9:30, 3 hours, the 3-hour mark. If you look at the expense budget rankings, they've all been funded, right? All these numbers mean that they have received support. So I would like to just imitate the land use committee and keep it extremely short with the expenses.
We actually with some, we might have to talk to Wayne about this.
The new one, yeah.
Yeah, I think I don't know if it was this one or the other one that we striked out, but there was like one of them that we striked out and we kept
We're looking at expenses, Danny.
you're saying like to follow like what land use did. And I'm
Yeah.
like saying like I know one of them was probably striked out and you might have to talk to Wayne about which one was it that we striked out. I'm just like saying, that's all that I'm just saying. That's it.
No, what I'm saying is that whatever expenses we want or ideas to keep it minimal like land use did.
Okay.
They only have one ask.
Yeah,
So
because there for land use, there isn't much really to ask about because like all we deal with is like the law of the land. That's basically about it, you know.
Yeah. I don't know if repair sinkholes is that I thought that expense had to do with programming.
Yeah, I don't know why that should be in capital.
Yeah. Should we
But
move
I
it
thought,
to?
wasn't that already done?
That was done,
You
yeah.
said the sinkholes were.
That was probably a mistake, like a cut and paste mistake.
All
right,
but
and
are we sure, like, if it has a number, that means it was funded? Because I just see like the $1 million for DCLA funding. I don't think that's pop up.
No, it's not going to. I'm gonna tell you.
well, I don't know. I mean, I didn't prepare this sheet,
Right.
so
So I can
Yeah.
talk just from my experience through Department of Cultural Affairs.
yeah.
That's useless to put in this line.
What line?
It's useless for us to have it in our expense. That's Department of Cultural Affairs, that's,
Right.
it's kind of futile.
Right, because we don't have, yeah, so
don't
we
have that
can
clause,
strike out but then why did it get a number though?
That was put in this was put in several years ago,
Okay,
and it just kind of stayed there,
okay,
but, you know, the city council gets their budget and then they decide, you know, it's when you apply for discretionary funding, right, and you do it like a department, when I do my Department of Cultural Affairs applications, right?
right.
You mark off certain council people that, you know, you want to pay their attention, right? But I think from what I understand, each council person gets X amount of dollars to allocate to the Department of Cultural Affairs. I don't know that we have any influence on
So
that sort of
strike it out?
expense. That's what I'm saying. That's my suggestion.
That would make sense. But that, yeah. And also already Kaya spoke about add funding to partnerships for parks and city parks foundation to support, I'm sorry, no,
Yeah.
receptacles. I'm
Yeah.
talking about receptacles. Add recycling collection and more trash receptacles in the park. That can stay,
Yeah.
right? So because the list is very short, is there anything other than the DCLA line that you would consider striking out for whatever reason? Because it's either being currently funded or because it doesn't get enough funding?
Let's look at number 26 on here because we've been talking about that in the expense, haven't we?
You mean capital,
Yes,
lighting.
Thank you, yeah.
So move to capital?
But weren't we already talking about that with different projects?
I know,
lighting? So
yeah.
to me, that just seems superfluous, or I could be
Okay,
wrong.
so we can strike it out?
That's what I'm thinking.
Danny?
Can I add one?
We're not there yet. We're,
Oh,
we're,
okay.
we're talking about striking out first.
Yeah.
But, oh,
Yeah, go ahead,
no, I
Darryl.
would just say to Alexis' point, I don't think this is something to add more lighting. It's to have better innovations around lighting design. So like kind of maybe helping parks, maybe they get some, new designers that, are specialized in safety and lighting and that sort of thing. It's not saying to add lighting.
But then that's really good because then it goes back to one of the things that Johannes brought up. We can move this to capital
That's what I'm
because
saying.
to
Doesn't feel like
me,
expense.
yeah, it's
Feels
not
like it should be
expense.
capital.
It's not a program. We're not funding a program. This is a capital improvement.
I mean, but also to be capital doesn't have to be a certain amount of money. This
We're
does
not
not
saying
meet
that.
that threshold. It's not like a $50,000.
No. What we're saying is that this would be better suited in capital and not in expense. Expenses
But
for
capital has to have a certain amount of money threshold.
Does it?
I don't think this meets that.
You don't think that providing like new lighting in parks throughout the parks?
Not lighting no, I don't.
Chris, in order for something to be capital, what's the threshold, the dollar threshold? The threshold in terms of dollar amounts?
Isn't it like 50,000?
Yeah, I mean, all of our capital projects. Just trying to think. If they're under $1 million project, it tends to goes through a separate process, not for studies. A study could be less, and we have like the CPSD capital project scope for all studies are less than that, but capital projects. Cause some of them are less than $1 million, but I mean, I don't know, I think the smallest project so far that I've seen was like Ben and Park Central Lawn. I was like. Just under $1 million, maybe.
Okay.
And it has to be tangible. It has to be something.
If you
that
were
lasts
talking about
for like
lighting,
20 years.
Yeah.
Specific light, I mean, typically lighting is gonna be part of a larger capital project, right?
Right.
So if
That's
it's
what I
like
thought.
Pathway reconstruction or something like that, that's one piece. Lighting. It depends on the scale of it. I mean.
Right,
you could-
and this is not really talking about lighting itself, it's talking about interventions, like creating different.
Like guidelines?
Guides, like
Something like
guidelines,
that.
different, yeah, I don't know who put it in there, but yeah, it's not the lighting itself.
I mean, there could be, you could recommend a study for sure.
Yeah,
You could recommend a study that looks at, alternative.
Lighting?
Yeah,
Okay.
creating greater safety through lighting design.
well, you could do a safety study. I mean, this is why Kai mentioned we partnered with the Barnard Environmental Studies class specifically to look at drainage issues in rural parks. So, I mean, these are the sorts of things that graduate students or even undergrads in that,
Right.
you can assign.
Because then that leads to a capital
Well, but
project.
you could also hire a consultant to do a study, and I mean, the capital project scope development, that's the consultant that's doing that. For the Upper Greenway,
Mhm.
so.
I'm gonna do a time check. So are we saying that we want to keep this item or just change the wording to a safety study on the impact of lighting in parks?
I mean, that's what it
I
seems
mean,
like
are
it's
you
getting
looking
at.
to assess, there's like an assessment, and then there's like, recommendations of design studies, yeah.
Okay. Is there anything else that would need rewarding or striking out? Danny,
No, I wanna add something.
you want to add? Okay. Because I really want to get everybody out of here by 9:30. Good? All right, we're good with everything else? All right, Danny, what's your idea?
So.
Which you will add to the Excel sheet.
Yeah, speaking about redesigning or reimagining and all that stuff. Since that section under the bridge seems like to be kind of like iffy, I would think that it would be great if we found did studies on like that whole section and how to reimagine that whole section down over there, because it's like every time we keep on bringing it up, it's like we don't know. We
Talking
don't
about Haven Ave ramp or the area that George?
just that whole area down over there, like the part of the bridge, the zigzag, everything that goes under all the way down to like the highway. I would
There's a lot of parkland underneath the Henry Hudson Park.
Yeah, so I would think that the best idea is to hire someone and study that whole area, figure out what belongs to who, and if there is like kind of like some design firm that could like say like, oh, like this area could be reimagined this way, because like every time that we keep on bringing it up is like that whole area is like dirty, like the railings are suck. There's no lighting down over there. There's a bunch of people like taking drugs down over there, and then you have like that little tunnel that goes from the green path all the way to the other side, and then there's like the bridge that goes all the way down there, and then there's another section that's like on the left side that goes all the way down to the tennis court, and like that section kind of sucks. And just even from
That's that's under design right now.
yeah, and
For a detour related to the wooden
Yeah.
track.
yeah, and then
So Danny,
and then
Yeah.
and then there's like the section that goes from the green path to that section. So I would think that the best solution would be to hire someone and to figure it all out. Like I don't know how to say it. Really.
yeah, let me help you out, Danny, if I may. Here's the caveat. We already said that Jody was going to propose capital improvement in that area already. And then you want to study.
Can I say, I'm confused because it sounds like it's two different areas.
Oh, it's two different areas.
It's
two different areas?
It's like it's part of that is where she's saying that area that
Okay.
goes down over there, but then it's like, oh, this area belongs to Amtrak, oh, this area belongs to Port Authority, oh, this area belongs to Parks. So like have a study where all of it could be checked out, all of it could then say, okay, like this is that, and how can we reimagine that whole area down over there? Because it's like if we go, oh,
Mm.
how Jody's like saying oh, like we can, let's fix this section, okay. How about everything else that surrounds it? Because it's not just that section, it's like, it's a
Mhm.
big piece of land that's down over there, that's like under that bridge. It's a big piece of land. And like, it could be that we reimagine it where in the nighttime, instead of like the poles that they have there, like they can put lights under there, like, I don't know if you ever been under the Kosciuszko Bridge, that whole area is just like beautified.
So there are 4 distinct areas in northern Manhattan parks that are underneath highways. So there are 3 areas that are under Henry Hudson Parkway. One is where Jody was describing previously. The second is by Haven Avenue ramps, and that's
Mhm.
there's a stretch. It's roughly from like 170th up to 179th or so past the zigzag. The third section is as you approach Riverside Drive, almost at Dykeman Street where there's on ramps and there's whole sections of Fort Washington Park that are under the highway there. Where we have, we're dealing with, repeated homeless encampments and all sorts of dumping issues. So those are kind of the 3 in Fort Washington. Then in Highbridge, you have the areas underneath the ramp that goes from the Harlem River Drive up to the Cross Manhattan Expressway. The ramps underneath there where we're doing their raves and stuff, just south of skate park.
I'm gonna refocus the conversation.
So I'm just saying.
What is the ask? Yes,
so-
Chris.
If I may, if this sounds right, there are multiple sections of parkland underneath highways, underneath, state
Yeah.
and city highways. And essentially studying how these areas.
An
can be-
assessment.
And assessing, studying.
A
how
needs
these-
assessment.
Yeah, how, and maybe,
Some
thinking,
kind of
what can
consult,
you
yeah,
do
some kind of
with these
consulting,
areas?
because it's like,
They, I will admit, they are very, very challenging for us.
yeah.
And I appreciate the idea of like a comprehensive look at these areas. I mean, if Jana were here, I hear her. He's saying, should this even be parkland underneath these highways? So in some cases, maybe yes, in some cases, maybe no. I don't know that there's a clear answer, but it kind of begs these questions of like, we have parkland that was parkland and it was laid over by Robert Moses and other planners of ramps, highways, on ramps, off ramps, so forth. But the parkland underneath remains parkland.
Yeah.
But now you have highways over it.
Okay.
So how, and I understand what you're saying about the new Kosciuszko Bridge is under the bridge park and, right? So the cities all over the place have struggled with these types of spaces underneath the Gowanus, underneath the Beach under, they're challenging
And
spaces.
there's spaces that could be used, even like on 125th, like that whole area is, even though it's not parklands, it's DOTs, but it's just like empty spaces, like.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay, I'm
this
gonna
case-
refocus the conversation once again, because we're going back and forth, back
No,
and forth.
it's basically
Yeah.
that, it's like what
So-
you're saying, so. it's-
So the way that,
Good, just looking at it though, it's
Yeah.
almost like from Riverbank State Park all the way up to the roller rink thing, it's
Right.
a whole section.
so the ask, which Danny's gonna put together, is a study of a needs assessment of areas that are deemed sort of like depreciated, that can be optimized for public use.
Yeah, and I would like.
And you're
to-
gonna put it together.
Yeah, and I would like to even add in like some kind of consulting, because like, let's say, for example.
Studies are done by consultants.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah,
Cause I would also go, like, let's say down by South Street Seaport, like that whole area got reimagined from like whatever it used to be back in the days to like a walk, a pathway, like exercise areas, dog runs and all that stuff. Like why can't this section also of Manhattan get that kind of like a TLC for like these sections that they're just like so dilapidated, it's just so bad. I don't know, that's my.
alright,
that's
time
my,
check,
Yeah, we gotta get.
Add on.
yeah. Time check.
9:33.
Any other ideas? So we're going to We already looked at the expense list. We already decided what comes off the list for a variety of reasons, what gets to be rewarded, reworded. And Danny already is going to put together a needs assessment of areas that can be converted and comparable to other areas. Any other new suggestions for expenses?
For me.
Okay, new business,
Absolutely.
I'm
not.
sorry,
Is this-
old business,
Absolutely not.
I,
new business? Yes,
Can-
Daryl.
are we planning on getting the Port Authority here to talk about George Washington Bridge Park? AKA Dolphin.
Oh,
Park?
Dolphin Park?
I think-
I've been trying to mobilize, but we cannot compel the Port Authority to come and report.
But have we even
Yeah.
asked them? Like,
I mean, who do we ask? Who in the Port Authority can come and speak about Dolphin Park? Because like I said, it's not a matter of whether or not Port Authority can even manage the park. It's the fact that it needs to be managed by a nonprofit. So who is going to step up to the plate to take
But that-
responsibility for this park?
it has to be managed by a nonprofit. Who's saying?
Yes,
Port Authority.
Port Authority.
They haven't said it to us.
I think the
article
There was, yeah.
said
yeah,
it.
it's-
It'd be nice to get them here.
I think in the comments, it's like some dad who stepped forward. He was like, I'll do it. So, yeah,
Right.
let's go back to the article.
So right now, the issue with Dolphin Park is that there needs to be an organization that would step in to manage the park, because it is not, although it is under the purview of Port Authority, they don't manage the park.
Looking at the, once they're done with the steps, they could just move down the street.
Okay, then.
Minor steps.
That's not Port.
I know.
Oh.
Motion to adjourn, right?
Oh, and also because my understanding is that when it comes to community boards, the only people or the only entities that are obligated to come before the community board are the city agencies. But
But we
yeah,
can ask anybody, federal, state.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, I have asked, but are you asking?
You can ask if you want.
Yeah, no, I've been asking. I've been trying to mobilize people to see if they know that we can get the commissioner, and they're like, no, so.
Motion to adjourn.
All right. So new business, old business,
Is there any mail?
huh?
No mail?
I never have mail.
Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Danny motions. Second. 3 hours.
Yeah.
That's what I try to do every year. And thank you for being here, for being present, and thank you, everybody. Good night.
So I know that building power broker.
Oh, I'm just gonna tell you, you gotta
And
read
and
that.
hold on.
Yeah, that motherfucker.